a few more. If he has time, fires one and target the tail off. And he's through. Inside the 15 of the Panthers.
What is happening, you guys, and welcome to another episode of the Finn's Tailgate. I am your host, El Capitan, and tonight on the tailgate party that never seems to stop, even though we've taken a couple days off, man, it's been a hell of a week, bro. I'll get caught up with you guys on the entire Tua situation with the concussions and the overreaction, the blame game, you name it, man. It's ugly. It's going to get worse before it gets better. I really think that this is the beginning of some kind of change in the NFL. It'll probably be for the better, but parts of the game, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. About player health, who doesn't want the players to stay healthy? Let's be real. Nobody wants to see anyone hurt. Yet you want to hurt a mofo when you're out there. It's something different. But at the same time, nobody wants to remember that that these people are mortal. You know what I'm saying? They're superheroes. These are people's idols, and that's a whole different discussion. But there's just a lot when you get into these types of things about health, and someone gets injured, and then now the protocol, and we're gonna get into all that. To me, it was a real song and dance from mainstream media and pundits alike. We'll get into all of it. I've got some notes written down here. We'll get into it. We'll also get into some articles I've got relative to the subject, and then we'll try to move forward because, it's going to be some time without Tua. It's not what I think anybody on the Dolphins want right now. There might be people who don't believe in Tua, but anyone who's a real Dolphins fan is not happy that he ain't playing football for us, because I'm sorry, but the facts remain that the young man, Tua, playing behind center gives this team the best shot to win. That kid was killing it. And even in that, up until in the Cincy game, he was rolling out there too. So we got to get behind Teddy Two Gloves. I hope that Teddy that we signed early on shows up, not the Teddy I've seen in the Dolphins uniform, who seems to have a step back in his game and his approach mentally and all that other stuff. Hopefully the guy, can be someone the troops can rally around, but we'll get into more of that. Skyler's going to be the backup, man. We signed Reed Sinnet back in town. Look at that, guys. I remember how much we all loved watching Reed Sinnet play, and you know what? Systematically, in this system, this quarterback-friendly system, any one of those three quarterbacks can do decent. Who will be the best out of all three? I think everybody's favorite right now is Skyler. I would love to see Skyler Thompson out there. But let's not kid ourselves. The best quarterback on the football team ain't out there playing, and that's Tua. And it's a shame because up until the injuries started mounting and the hit in Buffalo, which is still in question, still under investigation, in fact, and then the hit in the Cincy game. Other than this mishap, the kid has come out as the man this year. He has completely put on a much more different performance, and it's a shame that it's put on ice once again. And there's a slippery slope that happens at this point, a hard conversation that I know a lot of people don't want to have. And it goes not just beyond what would be the most healthiest thing in his career, but like business alone. Like, you can't, when does the tag get put on Tua that he's injury prone and it's one that he can't get off? There's only so many 1 in a million type of hits you could take before people say, well, maybe you're making the 1 in a million odds worse. And I don't even want to like push down that thing, but along with all the change in protocols that people want now, we're looking at the whole landscape of the NFL could be just turned on its head. I hope you guys understand what I'm really trying to tell you here, is that if concussion protocols start taking action the way that a real concussion does, and I'll give you a for instance, if you're a fighter and you are a boxer and you get knocked out in concussion, you mandatorily have to take like 30 days or 45 days. That's an eternity in the NFL. We're talking about strategy. I have some solutions, to be honest with you. I have a couple of bullet point ideas that I think the NFL should listen, and I think it's part of the game plan anyhow. So, more money, more everything. But before we get going, guys, make sure you're hitting the like button, subscribing if you're new. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, or Twitter, do us the favor. Come on over to YouTube. We're growing over here on YouTube, guys. We just crossed over 4,000. Let's get to 5,000 by our 1-year anniversary, which I think we can get. Let's try to get there as fast as possible. Share the videos. Thank you, everyone, for who's new. Welcome. For everyone who's stuck around, the family, the members, join the membership, guys. You can join the membership. There's 3 different levels. Shout out to all the members scrolling at the bottom. Appreciate you guys. You help the program continue. And there's other ways to help out too, guys. Make sure to check out all the content we got. Typically on Tuesdays, we got Tonk 7. Tonk's been going through some stuff, but we'll try to get him back on schedule. On Thursdays, we got late night color commentary, and you guys can catch color again doing some coffee and a cup of color some mornings. Saturdays is late night exhale with Ali, crushing it on the Saturdays, cleaning house, everyone taking part. I'm glad everybody's there. You also got me every other day of the week. You can also count on Brandon the Bookie being there on most Fridays for cash and tickets, doing it up, getting the bets and stuff in. You guys can support the channel through Cash App or Venmo. Also, you can support the channel by hitting the links in the description. One is for Fanatics. You can get all your, licensed NFL and sports gear through Fanatics, and you might as well use the link. Help out the show, help out yourself. Win-win for everybody. Also, guys, we got a link for all our good stuff in that. And if you guys want to get 15% off, use TFTG 15 and you'll get 15% off. So, holler at your boy. And then also, guys, Backroom Collections is also a partner. If you guys use offer code #TFTG, you'll get 10% off everything you find on that. So, and you guys can always support through Super Chat. It's much obliged. It helps the wheels grease. Trying to keep our heads above water as half of Florida still sits in decimation. That's how the week started. I mean, just absolute decimation in South Florida. People displaced, my own family included. Everybody just trying to take care of business and do their part. And then also, then the injury to Tua. Sadly enough, I had one of my best friend's mom pass away. God bless them. I'll keep them unnamed. I had to go to a funeral this morning. I was planning on doing a daytime show today, but I couldn't make it. Family first and too early, honestly. So I'll be honest, my head ain't screwed on straight today, guys. So bear with me because I'm trying to give you the info, go through this stuff. But between the hurricane, Tua's injury, and the funeral, I got a lot mixing on up yonder. So, but Guys, thanks for coming here and getting in here early. Everybody who's in chat, shout out to the family. Everybody who's in this I see who was up in here first. California, always California up in that Marino's goat. What's going on, my guy? John, Ali, what's happening? Bentley, Pamela, family up in here, and my guy Mike, what's going on? Irving, some more family, what's happening? Canes, what's happening? Canes, 1989. Kahari, more family in here. Oh man, all kinds of family in this month. Appreciate it, guys. What's good? What's good? Moss, what's going on, Moss? Guys, if you're not getting over and checking out Moss, if you're trying to, keep up on some of your soccer, check out my boy right here, Moss Sports Talk, dude. My guy's killing it. Moss Sports Talk. Carlos, what's happening? Yeah, Carlos, I don't know. I would love to just see Skyler get the role, but to be fair and to be honest, I don't know how good that is for Skyler or how good it is for the team to not have Teddy come in there. The Teddy we signed, the Teddy we got from free agency, Teddy Two Gloves, Miami Cat, we all know, South Florida boy, he gonna put into work. And I talked him up because something that was like the first summer I haven't seen is where every wide receiver that is, your first or second option on your fantasy team would come down to Miami and catch passes and run routes with Teddy Bridgewater. He would throw to them all. Everybody loved the guy. Still does. This was the first summer I didn't see that happen. It's weird. But I'm sure it did, but it didn't get blown up the way it was. And, when we first signed Teddy, it seemed like he was, I don't want to say not with the program, but he was like, yeah, no, I came here to start and win football and play. And everyone's like, whoa, slow your roll, Teddy. You came here to back up Tua. We need to know it's this guy. And it's almost like he took that to heart a little bit and was like, all right, you know what? You're right. I am the backup dude now. I got to do everything as that guy for Tua. And not so much, not saying that he wouldn't prepare or didn't prepare, but that he was going to embody that role. Well, hopefully he can turn the switch back to I'm the starter, I'm the leader now. I don't need to try to grab any shine from QB1 who is, let's be real, Tua came in with a lot of questions this year. This is a make or break year. We still hear it from Tua, and it's a fact. But Teddy did probably reel it back for the betterment as a team player. Remember now, as a teammate for Tua, for this team. Well, now I need him to do the bigger part again and click it back on and become that number one QB competitor for this football team. Now, do I think from where I sit, uneducated with all the variables as the coaches have, I would love to see Skyler Thompson. I think between what I've seen in the preseason, I think he could fare well, and I want to see him go through some bullets, and maybe we got a little something over that. But competitively, we're 3-1, still top of the AFC East. We're going against the Jets. We drop one to the Jets, and we're 1-1 or 2-1 in the division, and we're 3-2. Not saying that it hurts us in the overall things, but like, I ain't trying to drop one to the motherfucking Jets. Let's be real right now, okay? That is not the cure Dolphins fans need right now. And we'll get into more of the Jets type of stuff, scouting them losers. Let's be real, bro. Your quarterback made and came back, but he threw 3 interceptions in that game, dude. Like, I am unimpressed. But I don't want them to catch us on like a down morally type of thing, dejected. After Tua got injured, it just seemed like the team wasn't there. It was I don't want to say the guys threw in the towel because I never feel that of my boys, but it seems like their heads weren't on right. And since he scored that touchdown on I can't remember which one it was, but it was like the nail in the coffin. And although the offense tried to get it going when that interception was thrown, and I know it wasn't an interception, we can go back and watch it, it was almost like they were, I don't know, bro. I can't have that become the feel of my team, because I feel it now. So do you guys. We feel not the same way we did 10 days ago, or right after the Buffalo game. Let's be real. It's just not that I feel like all is lost, but like I can't have Teddy, stoke that fire. You know what I'm saying? Like I got to get out in front of this shit. So we'll see. I don't know if we'll I think Teddy plays. I think he should be on a short leash. I think you split reps with the guys and make sure that Skyler is getting run with the starters. That's what I would do. I would make certain that Skyler is taking run and going against the first team defense and running with the first team offense. And if the young man's there and Teddy looks underwhelming along with that, demoralizing attitude on the field, in the locker room, then yeah, I think we need to go with the spark with the young cat. Let's be real. What's happening, Pamela? Family up in this mo. What's going on? Yeah. What's up, Bo? Dolphin Don, what's good? G, what's good, homie? Pull the plug? No way, dog. I ain't pulling no plug. Yeah, Pam, they're in way cover your ass mode, and I'm gonna go into all of that. Like, holy cow, it's literally a roller coaster ride of, I don't want to call it predictability, but like, I kind of applaud them in playing on our emotions, but I also scold them as well. When you're hurt and you act emotionally. And when, cooler heads prevail and you're able to take a third eye perspective of yourself, you're able to actually look at things. But it feels like, don't get it twisted, people. It's so weird, man. Like, they even have, like, this weird connotation, like, when Stephen A. Smith, and I get it, he's the overreaction guy, and Schefter. When did Schefter become the Stephen A. Smith hand-in-hand little buddy? He now projects and screams as well. But Schefter is becoming a Stephen A. Smith. And don't kid yourself. This guy, both of them, are on the NFL payroll. And when they come out the day after calling for people's heads, saying people should be fired, they kept using the word gross negligence. I'm like, bro, it's political keywording. That's all it is. Let's be real. And they blame the Dolphins. I blame the Dolphins. I blame this, that, everything. It's a hey, people are emotional. We're angry, and we're gonna now direct your anger. We're gonna amp it up. We're gonna make sure you're emotional. Then we're gonna tell you where we want you to put that emotion. And they talk about gross negligence. It's the Dolphins' fault. It's not the sport. It's not the game. It's not what it is. It's the Dolphins' fault. It was gross negligence on them. And that, he should have never even came out for the second half of that Buffalo game. He was concussed and not himself the whole time. And I've heard some Buffalo fans say that. I would shut up, Buffalo fans, if you're saying that, because that's essentially saying that a concussed out of it to us still kicked your ass. So just stop that, Buffalo fans. Now, some of them have been very classy about it, but I've heard plenty of you try to take that position, and you sound like a fucking idiot. Then Schefter, then they want to, push the blame game. Then they're talking about this guy and these doctors and they deflect to protect the NFL image. Okay, so then after that, it's Good Morning Football, and they're talking about the sorrow and the sadness, and I'm sure we're all empathetic people, but the message was still underlying. We need to make change. We need to go through protocols. We need to do this. We need to do that. Then we come to find out how these loopholes are in the test, and this type of stuff, and ooh la la. All of a sudden, now we find problems on the paper. Look, here's the problem. Here's where it's wrong. If we just do these things, then we're going to fix it. Come on, bro. Like, it was already set up, turn, knock them over for fixing a problem that they knew existed. And it is what it is. I didn't hear one person mention how Thursday night football is not good. Didn't hear that at all. Never heard a friggin' peep about how playing a game inside 5 games is dangerous. Never heard any of that, but I digress. Then there's, rap sheet, Ian Rappaport on the Pat McAfee show responding to the Fall Guy. Fall Guy gets fired. He, he's the man that, then when you hear about him firing, you hear about there was negligence. He made mistakes. Had this person, something like that. Then Rap Sheet, in a quiet whisper that not a lot of people heard on Pat McAfee, essentially says, hey, the guy didn't get fired for making mistakes. He got fired because of his attitude. And that, So, I don't know, man. Like, he got fired because of his attitude? What? Because he knew he was going to be the friggin' fall guy and was like, whoa, bitches, don't try to set me up. I already know why the investigation team's coming at me. I follow the guidelines you want me to follow. It's on this, and that's how it happens. Now, I don't know what happened back there or anything to that effect, but really, I don't know if you guys noticed, but it paints this picture, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, but it paints this picture of the movie Any Given Sunday with James Woods. He was the team doctor, and Lawrence Taylor is all messed up in the head, and they all know it, but they're gonna let him play. He's like, hey man, I gotta hit my $1 million bonus. Fuck out of here, da 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 da. And James Woods, this doctor, he's like, who am I to say that he can't play? It creates this whole imagery of something with the doctor, and there's the guy, there's the blame, here's the words that are blamed, and we'll just move past it. Now, then there's extremes. They're talking about mandatory 4 games. I don't see how that could ever work in the NFL. Quarterback gets a concussion, he's gone a quarter of the season. Like, how do you pay a guy $250 million if he's gone 4 games? How do you pay any of these guys the money that they get if any one of them can drop 4 games right away? So I do have some solutions, though. I do have some ideas for solutions. John says, Cap, I am epileptic and I have a lot of seizures and concussions in my life, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I've never been out cold, John. I've been concussed. Don't remember what. Oh, no, wait. I have been out cold once, and it was in football, and I got speared in my back, and it knocked me out, messed my back up good. Don't remember what happened. Got salt sticked, stood up, fell down. Something I dealt with later in life with chiropractor and stuff like that. It's messed up my knees because of how I've stood, because it happened when I was young, whole friggin' thing. But I have been, hit. I've been punched in the face, drunk. Guy hit me with a roll of quarters in his hand. And when I fell and hit the culvert on the back of my head and was bleeding out the back of my head, I don't remember any of it. Now, by accounts of people there, they said I stood up and started fighting, but I don't remember any of it. Next thing I remember, I was driving in a car bleeding. Apparently after that, I went and bled in the bathtub. I don't remember any of it. That's concussed. But, it's football. It's a hard game. A lot of people know that this type of stuff can happen when you play it. A common thing you'll hear even athletes say, they're paid for what you know, but it's never going to be a perfect science in a physical type of altercation. There's no difference than MMA, boxing, anything like that where, it could happen. And, it's a sad fact. And yeah, Kahari, it wasn't like It wasn't like it was a dirty play. Yeah, did he swing and slam him a little bit? Kind of, but, I mean, we've seen guys get tackled that way. I think the fact is that the tackle that was made, and then that hurt him the way it did, and I think we've seen Tua get tackled this way. People then correlate what happened last week and this week, and they're like, oh, these are connected. And they probably are in some way. There is, up-to-date machinery. There's types of stuff. Yeah, guys, it does suck, but, such is life, bro. Such is life. There's high tech. We're talking about a gajillion-dollar business. Let's be real, guys. There's nobody who got money like the NFL. You're telling me that there ain't some kind of machine that they can have on hand that can do it? I know there is. I just heard a doctor on, I want to say it was like CBS. I don't know the hell the name of the machine. I didn't even write it down because I don't know why. Because I got concussions. Anywho, there's machines in which they can run tests right there to have even a more accurate read. So that's something they could do. I also thought about this, and this is something they won't do. But like the unnamed doctor, instead of, and then they speculate also. They speculate that there's this pay for play kind of thing. You can the doctors push in. There's this pressure. There's this. There's that. So how do you prevent like the football team getting in cahoots with the doctor? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is something that is, it's right where a lot of people's head goes when something like this happens. When you see someone go down and it looks like they took a bad hit and then they come out in the next half, someone's like, someone paid off the doctor, yada, yada. So how do you prevent something like that? Well, I think you could just, instead of making it a big secret on who these people are, let's make it known. Let's make these people known. The same way the ref is, and same way we know their face. Not that it's not to have someone to blame, because I don't want that to be the way it's abused in that way, but make it more out in the open, more of an open discussion where, these medical people, they're always working on it, always talking, and then there's no way that they'll be able to be pressured from one team alone. Now the NFL doing it, that's their business. They hire these people. I mean, that's the thing. But where they're trying to blame the Dolphins, and they were trying to blame Mike McDaniel. And let's remember, Mike McDaniel's a first-year head coach. I'm not saying that excuses anything, but if you think Mike McDaniel is the type of guy that is trotting out his players out there thinking that something like that could happen, more than the usual because of an injury he already took, that's just a dirty blow, bro. That's just a terrible thing to say. It's gross. It's gross to even say with somebody like that. I don't even want to hear that stuff. Yeah, Mike. Well, they say it was his fault, but then Ian Rappaport comes out and says, well, no, they didn't fire him because of him not doing the protocol. So let that be clear. Let me correct the record, apparently, because everyone has what you're saying, Mike, that the guy was fired and it was kind of his fault. Now, I see that's not what you're saying here, but that guy didn't get fired because it was his fault. He got fired, apparently, for how he reacted and stuff like that. I find that to just be ridiculous. He's the fall guy. They'll scream that this guy did it, and then they'll whisper one place the correction. It's just like a newspaper where the headline says something, and then the retraction's on the back page. It's freaking good old-fashioned PR bullshit tactics. It's looky over here while I really do this over there, and nothing ever really gets changed. And there's a lot of that happening right now. They're talking about how they're going to fix this and how they're going to fix that, but I don't know. They really need to look at a couple of things. First things first, these Thursday night football games are too short of a week for a lot of these guys. It hurts. Always guys are going down, especially later in the year. I can easily fix that problem right off rip. I hope you're listening, NFL, because I got your answer. You only put Thursday night games against both opponents whom are coming off of bye weeks. That's it. Sorry. Easy. Fix it. Now, I get it. You probably don't get as many Thursday night football games because you're not giving people buys week 1, 2, 3, or 4 or something like that. But can't have everything. You rotate the years in which you got to do it. All of a sudden, now the only advantage anyone has is home field advantage. Don't set these guys up on short weeks to play Thursday and go, hey, guess what? You get like a second bye week. No, bitch. I get to play 2 weeks quicker. Don't tell me it's a second bye week. It's just stupid to even say that. I mean, I get it in theory, but like that's just anyhow. Also, they need more players on these football teams. They need more players. They need to have more bodies to rotate in to prevent these types of injuries. Now, and again, now it becomes about money. It becomes about, cap and salaries and what you pay people. That's not my problem, my friend. You know what I'm saying? I can't figure out your analytics on your money and what's fair and what's not. I don't know. I guess if you put cap numbers on positional players, because think about it like this. A quarterback gets paid $250 million guaranteed. He misses any time, it hurts the team. He's getting all the money. So they really got a situation going on with their own talent affording them and the absolute overvaluing of one position versus the rest. It is the hard way to build a team. We know this, but they've got to do a better job trying to get a better system to do what's best for the future of the game, because let's be real, the future of the game is international. And although us here in America and in Florida in particular have accustomed to playing a lot of football, and as Chad Ochocinco or Chad Johnson would say, you build up a callus to it. Taking it international, it's not like these guys don't play football that way. You know what I'm saying? They don't play any football. So it's going to be hard for them to have teams, this types of stuff. They got to make it, I don't know, man, they're going to change the game, and I'm worried they might change it for the worse at times. I know it'll be better because there'll be less injuries, but I don't know, man. I don't know. So, but we'll have to, man, who is this D. Watson? Push for this man's death. Attention in chat of 80. Y'all are weirdos. Wow, we got a good old-fashioned troll in this huh? Relax, home skillet. Chill. Anyhow, there's got to be a better way to have rosters, expanding the roster, putting guys in more rotation. These are just some of the things. The league is growing anyhow, you know. They could use all this for reasons to expand players' health, players' safety. It's got to be a better thing. What I don't want to see happen is them change more in the game as far as the physicality goes. You know, that's not cool. Like, it's already such a hard game to play. And when I really don't want a lot of ref intervening, you know, I don't need the refs deciding football games, bro. I don't need them throwing flags all the time anytime someone gets near a friggin' quarterback. That's not fun to watch. Might be for some people, but that's just not the game, dude. Now you're just changing the whole deal. And what the hell's up? Like you got those skins that they put on helmets in practice and stuff like that, and that's cool. Isn't there some kind of, I don't know, carbon fiber, like cushion they could put on the edge of these helmets. Do something, bro. Like, you've got all the money and technology. I know they do all these modifications to the helmets and they look different and this, that, and the third, and they got this. But come on, man. Let's get real. Like, fix it. Do something. You're the billionaires. You got the money. Just draining shit. Come on, Johnny. El Cap, even if they enlarge the roster, same 22 guys. Yeah, I understand that, CT, but maybe that's something they can implement too. If they enlarge the rosters, enlarge the season, but mandatory rest certain things when also that mandatory can be met for injury. There's a win-win scenario here. They increase the cap, they increase the roster, they increase the season, and then they increase the regulation on the players themselves because of all the increases. So you go, hey, guess what? You're going to only have to play 15 regular season games. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know the friggin' algorithm. Could I sit here and try to figure it all out? Maybe. But, this has been a long time coming in NFL. You know it. You know it has. I mean, we lose players like Luke Kuechly too early because of this type of stuff. And I don't know. I really think that they could do something. They'll get it figured out, but not before they'll try to sweep it under the rug. And that's the shame of it all. They'll try to sweep it under the rug well before they really try to put their head down and try to make some critical thinking. And maybe that'll happen. We'll see. But I don't know. Well, I just don't appreciate the blame game on my coach, on my team, when the real blame lies with the NFL. And that's just a fact. And I'm sorry, but if it was any other year with Tua, maybe they would, defer a little bit. The Dolphins can share this part of the blame, that because of the situation of their mismanaging with Tua the first 2 years, he's now in a make or break year. And that, they call that like a soft push in a way, where because it's a make or break year for him, and he knows it, he probably feels more inclined to not miss football snaps because it could mean his livelihood and his future as an NFL athlete. So, I don't know. Damn, dude. One thing's still for certain. San Francisco still owns the friggin' Rams. Holy shit. They just scored another. That's 24-9. The Rams cannot beat San Francisco in the regular season. What is going on? Samuel, it definitely is not Mike McDaniel. And I don't even think it was the doctor per se. He just did the protocol that's there in place. And that's it. It's a minimum. There's loopholes. Why are there loopholes? Because they want loopholes. That's all. And and Cliff, I know you're poking fun by calling Tua too fragile. And I know everybody is irritated that Cliff says that, but Cliff will become more of the majority than the minority if this continues. I mean, it's just a fact, and it's a sad fact because, I mean, look, the kid's been playing great, but he's out with a concussion and a nasty one. I don't give a damn what anyone says. He got slung, he hit the back of his head, and he freaking crippled up, and that's sad. It's disgusting, but that's how it'll be written. Sorry. He misses, say, 3 games and then misses, say, 2 more at the end of the season with a twisted ankle. I'm just being real to the business side. If that's 5 games he misses this year because of injuries, concussion for 3, misses 1 or 2 later, they might give him a 4th year, but I mean, damn, dude, that's a lot of time missed in your first 3 years. We'll have to see what happens, but yeah, I know, Pamela. Goodell's sitting up there I know. You wonder, I mean, look, I can't blame Goodell. He ain't nothing but a friggin' public whipping child for all the billionaires. I mean, let's be real, guys. What are we talking about here? We're talking about a billionaire's toys. Okay? These are bragging rights. Why does billionaires buy a horse? They don't fucking like horses. They want to win and beat other billionaires. That's what the football is. It's the same damn shit. And there is all this layered humanizing this and humanizing that and talking about, all the shit they want to help. But that's why I respect guys like Xavier Howard. My man, go get his and worry about number one. Yeah, I'm on a team. I'm going to play for the team and be out with my guys. But charity starts at the house. And I got to think about me and me only and my family. And that's something Tua's got to think about too. And I get that this is part of him thinking about his family, proving himself as an NFL athlete and stuff like that. But, when does his family worry more about his health than the potential money he can make? He's already made millions. And these are serious conversations. This is not the type of conversations we want to be having, should be having. And the NFL is shifting in this paradigm. Alex, you say Tua will be back for the Vikings game? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know when he'll be back. There's people speculating it could be season ending or whatever. I don't think so. That seems a little bit, crazy. Now, if they find something wrong in his head going through tests, then all right, yeah, now you're talking season ending. But I wouldn't go that far. But I just need to, I need him to be healthy, test healthy, show pictures that he's healthy, because I can't look at, I got to remember these are people, and we get in this. This isn't fantasy football. This is a hurt person on their head. Let's make sure that's good before I worry about the other stuff. And with that, we will transition to now. We need Teddy Bridgewater to show out. Jets are coming. Well, actually, we're going to there, right? It's MetLife TakeOver. We've owned that place for forever. We've beaten the Jets in New York with chumps at the quarterback position. This team is far and away too talented to even let poor quarterback play from anyone. I don't care if it's Teddy, Reed, Sinnet, Skyler, Johnson, who ain't even on the football team. How about that? I can't have that. So Teddy's got to show out. He's capable. I want to see a different and a better attitude from Teddy. I want him to be that dude that leads the football team. I'm not saying let's put Tua on the back burner, but I need, Tua's going to be there on the sideline. Let's be real. You'd have to friggin', suspend him from the team to get him to not be with the team. That's just the kind of guy he is. But we got to definitely, get Teddy thinking like a number one quarterback. And Skyler, too, for that matter. Skyler ain't going to not dress. He going to be out there. And if Teddy don't work out, then I need to see Skyler in there, because I don't need this team slipping further into the abyss of boredom because Teddy don't want to take it all that serious. So, Alex, I'm sorry. If Tua's out this season, I don't think he'll be back next season. That's not a conversation I want to have right now, but that's just crazy to think that he could miss an entire season and then come back next season. It's just not. If he did come back, it would be an open quarterback competition. Let's just be real. So, that's just a fact, bro. There's just no friggin' way you could miss that whole time. El Capitan. Tua was in the locker room with lights shining, no sunglasses, wasn't sensitive to the lights, and Tyreek was hanging out with Tua and said, yes, Tua will be back by the Vikings game or the Steelers game. I mean, yeah, I would imagine Tua is good enough. I mean, he flew home. He flew home from the game. I'm not saying you can't not be back to normal. I'm just talking, and I'm not saying like, okay, they're going to find some, blood aneurysm thing in his brain. I'm not a doctor, but I'm just saying that, like, the NFL could want to make an example out of Tua and us and this to implement something. If he comes out in the Vikings game and goes out with another concussion, they will fucking shit a golden goose. I mean, you're talking about a lot of things. You're talking about potential lawsuits, NFLPA. Remember this, too. The NFLPA is like a Teamsters. It's like a union. It represents the players. Their insurance that they get for retired players, it's all run through that program. When they pay into retirement, all that stuff, how it works, and they go to bat. So when there's a strike, it's the NFLPA that says, hey, guys, we're going on strike, and that's when the players don't show up. Unless you're going to be a scab, and then now you ain't going to be a part of it when we get what our way. So when does somebody threaten that? The NFLPA's bargaining ability, the NFLPA's insurance bargaining ability, their payments, I'm just talking about a lot of different things that are happening when we're talking about injuries, we're talking about the game, we're talking about people. And look no further than J.J. Watt with his heart thing that they let him play out there with. I mean, there's a lot of different gears turning on this one. And the NFL is going to do their best to just slide back and act like they're doing stuff when all they're really trying to do is protect themselves from lawsuits, protect themselves from loss of viewers, and keep face. I'm just being real. It's just facts. And, this business will protect itself. Because remember what it's run by. It's not run by people. It's not run by folks. It's run by billionaires. And then, even worse, when a team ain't got a billionaire to run it, it's run by its city. Its own separate fucking whole bullshit of democracy and fucking bureaucracy. So let's just be honest and understand what we're talking about. And Pamela, the NFL can't look inside itself. It's soulless. It's a business. It's all about numbers and cents and binary stuff. Now, in these moments when the lights are bright and things can change, this is where growth can happen. Let's just make sure that the growth that happens ain't screwing us, screwing them, screwing this whole process of a football team. Because that's how big business works. They see something, we react emotionally, then they point us at what needs to happen. Now this guy gets fired. Now this loophole's pointed out. Now look, I fixed this. Now I got that. Now it's all fixed. And not a fucking thing happened. But you get screwed and they get screwed. That's just how it is. There's no good crisis goes to waste with these assholes. Remember what we're looking at. Remember. Ross ain't even around, Cliff. Ross ain't even here. Remember what we're dealing with. So I'm going to call it out. I see the forest through the trees. And look no further than the games on Sunday. How many guys got pulled out with concussions? There's the overcorrection. I don't know. I don't know what to say or what to do. But I'll be watching and waiting. And I'll never take anything on face value until I've properly dissected it and looked at it from 360-degree angle. Because to me, there's good that can happen, and then there's a hell of a lot of wrong and bad that can happen. So we got to be very careful. Yeah, it'll be scandal, but that's how it goes. I mean, gee, if there's severance pay and give two of the max to early retire, I don't know. I mean, like, look, that's how shit goes, bro. Like, they poster child a guy or something like that. Imagine he comes out 2 weeks from now, Vikings, Steelers, whatever game, and he goes down with another concussion. The absolute, and to quote Trailer Park Boys, shit firestorm that would take place after that only hurts the game. It only hurts the game. And then on the other end of that coin, Tua being held out from the Dolphins, who's that only hurt? That only hurts us, does it? It doesn't hurt the game. So what do you think this organism's going to do to protect itself? How do you think the organism of the NFL is going to protect itself? By putting him out there and then finding themselves in a metaphorical shit firestorm? Or not putting him out there and looking like champions and only hurting the Dolphins? I don't know. Tua could be gone for 4 weeks. And that's going to suck. But yeah, DDG, that's an NFL script. Guys, hit the like button, please. Sorry. I didn't tell anybody to hit the like button. Please get the likes up. Got about 100 watching live. No, Jimmy, I don't think Tua's done for the year. I don't think he's done for 4 games either. But I don't know the type of political pressure they'll try to put on the team to keep him out, to protect the image of the NFL. Then again, I look at the Deshaun Watson thing, and I wonder how low will they go. Remember, there is still growth. There is still, expansion on the horizon internationally for the teams, for the brand. And I'll be honest, a part of their international expansion, Tua is spearheading that entire thing from the Pacific, and it's beyond the Samoan Islands for anyone who doesn't know. But these types of things, it's crazy, bro. God, bro. I know. If he takes another headshot, I'll be sick to my stomach. The sad fact is that Tua has been playing lights fucking out when he's on the field. If this was the same Tua I seen last year in the same style of offense I seen, because I put a lot with the offense too. Not that I wouldn't care, but the answers would be all the more easier to see for a fan, for fan base, for team, all that stuff, to be like, well, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But because he's grasped this system, he's leading this team, he's freaking smoking it out there, that when this arises, it's such a hard thing, bro. What's up, New Attitude? How about T. Higgins? I agree, bro. But imagine now, every time a wide receiver gets his clock cleaned, he's out for 4 weeks because they make that the mandatory minimum. I'm sorry, but linebackers from here on out clocking motherfuckers out. You know why? Gives me a competitive advantage. What's the worst that's going to happen? Even if I get suspended a game, he's gone for 4. See what I'm saying? Change is always a good thing, but it always comes with its abuses and how it becomes abused afterwards. So look no further than the Tuck rule and Brady and all that other nonsense. So I don't know. We do need change in it, but where, when, and how? T. Higgins, yeah, I hear you. Perfect cue. Yeah, 15-yard penalty, or I'm suspended for a game because I hit a defenseless player. Perfect cue. You think the NFL's Tebowing Tua, or what do you mean by that? That they're gonna. I don't understand. I mean several things. Perfect cue. That they're Tebowing him. Some people could take that as they're propping him up for the brand. Other people can take it as, I don't know. I don't think that's what you mean, though. Explain. Gee, yeah, he slammed him, but no harder than I've seen guys slam before. You know? Really, perfect cue. I would argue the opposite, to be honest with you. Not that they want him in because he's a Christian, but this nation is a Christian nation. It's run by them, and if you peel enough layers of the onion back, you'll see that that's where the money's coming from more often than not. Just being real. And I don't mean it's a bad thing either. Well, they don't talk about concussions in soccer or hockey. You're right. Especially hockey if you think about it. But I kind of think about, like, if you're on a hockey team, I don't give a damn if you're a goalie or what. Like, you take all those blows. You know what I'm saying? You're taking all them hits all the time. So I think you either figure it out young enough or they figure it out very quickly that, hey, this guy can't make it in hockey. And I think in the quarterback position in particularly, you're the most well-protected football player out there. Now, granted, you take some of the most severe shots, but, I mean, just think about it. Alabama protected him pretty well until he got injured, and all of his injuries have come outside the pocket, him trying to push the play down the field. And I don't want that to be the connotation on the guy, and I don't even want to get context into it because it looks like attacks at Tua, but they're facts. They're facts. Him trying to push the play, he needs to learn to throw it away, yada, yada, yada. But you'd like to say, gosh, I wish he could take that hit and not get injured. Then we go back to where we're talking about, hey, you know, he took that hit, and as some people pointed out, gross negligence is the key word, the buzz term that they've coined, about his motor skills coming off. I don't know, man. I don't have all the data, and I'll be honest, the data in which I'm sure they'll give us is filtered through whatever coffee can of fucking bullshittery that they want to sell us. So, that's just the facts. Yeah, I got that perfect cue, but such is the game, bro. I know, Kahari, and that's kind of the thing. It's football. Like, I wasn't big enough to play college football. That's why I didn't get a scholarship. There's this filtration process, and I think about what Chad Johnson says, like, I got to build up a callus to it. I'm not saying you got to eat McDonald's, play football, and I'm not saying Tua doesn't have the callus. I just don't know, you know, when is it becoming a detriment versus the upside? And it's a shame that I even have to have that conversation right now because I feel like he's playing so well. I'm more interested in the conversation of when is the money versus the detriment to his personal health for him come into play. There's a lot of variables here that change a lot of things. And I can only hope that some honest, real inquiries, investigation, medical investigation type of data happens with Tua. Maybe not so much that they could tell us what went wrong where and how it happened, but that now at this point is no different than where he would start from any other time in his life. That there's not, I don't want to say a lingering issue, but something that, you know, he shouldn't be playing. It's also a shame that the NFL refs did not call targeting when the player leads with their helmet. You know, sometimes you're going to miss some, Canes. It's just how she goes. You don't want to lose the physicality in the game, but, you know, I know what you're saying, especially how they do with college. It's a lot more. I don't know. I mean, you see, if you want to see where the future of the NFL is, look at college. You see how they play, what they do. They're so much in on this and that. We'll just have to see. Later, Bo. Take it easy, bro. So, it's a hard conversation to have. It is. Because I'm a Dolphins fan. I want my Dolphins to win. I want, you know, everything to happen for Tua, this team, and everything like that. It's just a weird place to sit. And I'm sure will be comfortable seeing him back out there again when it comes. But all eyes will be on him for that. I do think that Tua plays great when he has and knows all eyes are on him. He's totally that way, and have proven that this year. The pressure cooker doesn't faze him in the way that it has some people. Tafo family says, anyone who has had a 340-pound monster slam them in the back of your head on a turf will have the same response. Look at Darnold Oh, I lost it. His hands froze up too. Yeah, I'm not saying he won't recover, Tafo family, but I'm saying that probably won't be the last time a 340-pound guy slams him either. So, I don't know. Maybe Tua should take some, I think Color said, maybe Tua should take some wrestling classes. Learn how to protect himself when being slammed or something a little bit. Maybe there's a little bit of unorthodox type of coaching that can be put into place for some of these guys. I don't know, but nobody wants to see what everyone saw on Thursday night. Even though we want to see guys just obliterated. Everyone wants to see someone knocked down. No one wants to see him knocked out. We want to see a big hit, a big lick made. We don't want to see that guy not get up. That's the problem. And that's the reality. It's the game we play. And it's the one we love. And it's the risks we take. And there's a fine line between making risks right and just living with them. Because there's no one to blame. It just happens. That's just a fact. It's just a fact. I don't know, DDG. There's also something to say about people when you're a kid playing when you're young. Yes, while your brain's developing, there's this, there's that. But there's also something to say that, look no further than the guys who do Thai. They kick that friggin' tree their whole lives. By the time they're 17, 18, 19, 20, they could kick that tree down. They grow up that way. I don't know. I would venture to say a kid who played quarterback and took hits at quarterback his whole life, behind from the ages of 5, 6, or 7, starting all the way into a grown man at 22, versus a guy who started in college and then got into the NFL. I don't know how different one could take the hit to the other. In fact, I would put my money on the guy who's been taking the hits to continue taking them versus the guy that I don't know can take those hits. So, again, something like anything else, building up a muscle to it. I'm not saying Tua should be slammed on his head a bunch of times. All right, Tua, we're going to get your head right. Boom, boom, boom. Like, that ain't what I want to see either. But, I don't know. This isn't me. I don't have billions of dollars. I could come up with a million ideas, but give me some money first, NFL. Holler at your boy. I will help you figure out these problems. I got a lot of different areas I think y'all should be looking at it, honestly. But I'll be even more honest. I feel it's a lot of bureaucracy, and they don't give a shit about fixing problems as much as they care about them just going away. So until something happens, and usually it takes a lawsuit or, some type of fucking political movement, they'll just continue cashing checks until somebody makes them stop. You know what, Pamela? I don't mind taking the fire, but good night to you. I'll be here. Didn't have the YouTube channel before when the team was terrible, but it's not like I've not been a Dolphins fan through all of it, buying their gear, all that stuff. I'll live. Guys, hit the like button. Let's get into some of this stuff. Got a Barry Jackson article here. Dolphins players addressed the Tagovailoa situation, and they were in media today. We'll go into some of them. We'll watch Coach. We'll listen in. Miami Dolphins players expressed relief about Tagovailoa's health after interacting with him in recent days. In the wake of quarterback being carted off with a concussion during Thursday night's game in Cincinnati. Tua's fine, wide receiver Tyreek Hill said Monday. I had a chance to talk to him on off days. He's in good hands. I saw him in the locker room for a minute ago, and he's smiling ear to ear. Tagovailoa remains in concussion protocol and will miss Sunday's game against the Jets and potentially additional games. Defensive end Emmanuel Ogbah said he spoke to Tua on the plane ride home from Cincinnati and that he seemed fine and great. Defensive tackle Christian Wilkins said he's better now. He's himself, bringing that great energy. Meanwhile, the NFL union reportedly had agreed to a change in concussion protocol that would require a player who exhibits gross motor instability. What did I say about that keyword? There's that key phrase, I should say, to be removed from the game. I'll repeat that. Meanwhile, the NFL and union reportedly have agreed to change in the protocol that would require a player who exhibits gross motor instability to be removed from the game. So this article is saying that the NFLPA and the NFL have figured out that if you're exhibiting motor skill malfunctions after being slammed to the ground, falling to your knee, that you need to automatically be put into the concussion protocol, at least be put into and removed from that game. I don't want to see him trigger happy. A guy, slips after falling down and going boo-boo, but there's gonna be some overreach with that at times, and I don't like that either. They'll throw a flag and say this guy's got to get out, he's not good or something like that. And now the refs are controlling the game a little bit more, and I don't like that. God, this game's getting dirty as fuck. I can feel it already. Anyhow, if that rule had been in place during the Dolphins' Week 3 game against Buffalo, Tagovailoa likely would not have been permitted to continue playing through what multiple doctors said was a back injury and not a head injury. So apparently this is a new rule, and that's why, as it was said by Adam Schefter and Stephen A. Smith, they were talking about it as if it's always been there, when now, no, it's only been rewritten. Some lines were crossed out and written in pencil over the inked paper that's been around forever, that, hey, you know what? If a guy's stumbling around, he's not going to play football the rest of that day if he takes a hit to the head. I don't know how the hell that wasn't already in there, but we continue. Asked if that was something in general, Jalen Phillips said that's fair. It's always better to be overcautious when it comes to head injuries. You have to take the training staff's word on that. It's a complicated situation. The league and PA are doing everything to keep us safe. Phillips, who had 2 concussions at UCLA and briefly retired from football, was asked about the challenges of recovering from one. It varies for everybody, he said. There's all different types of symptoms. Some concussed people are sensitive to light and sound. Some get really nauseous and dizzy. I recovered really fast, a week or 2 weeks, he said. Head injuries have been an unfortunate part of the game for decades. I would say since it began, but whatever. It's an assumed risk, Phillips says. It's obvious something prevalent in the game, and that's what we sign up for. You don't wish it upon anybody. You surely don't wish it upon yourself. It's a violent game. We are compensated well for it. And you'll hear a lot of that too from fans, from people, and some people say it's an insensitive thing to say, and maybe they're right. Maybe, hey, you know what? That's what those people get. They get paid millions of dollars. it's insensitive. We don't like to. I don't want to hear people talk that way. It's not like they're not wrong either. You know, I mean, they get paid a lot of money and you assume the risks. There's people who go to battle at war and they know they could go and they don't get paid any of that money and they assume the risk because it's good financially and it helps pay for college. Let's be real. I don't want all that. Unfortunately, unfortunately. Ultimately, health is the most important thing. With head injuries, you have to be cautious with that, but people do recover from those types of things, Phillips continued. So, this and that, a little bit extra from the article here. Cornerback Byron Jones is eligible for a return from the PUP this week, and Coach Mike McDaniel said that decision hasn't been made yet. Gosh, if we get Jones back, this defense could get a little bit more tighter up there, and it could help us through this stretch without Tua. You know, even if it's two games, 3, 1, whatever it is, I need Jones back out there. Jones wasn't participating in practice on Monday. Instead, he was working with the trainer on the sideline in gym clothes. A player who begins training camp in the regular season and is put on the PUP list is permitted to practice 21 days before he must either be placed on the 53-man roster or placed on injury reserve or released. The 21-day clock has yet been triggered for Jones. Jones has been sidelined since March surgery with his ankle/Achilles injury. So we're still waiting on that. Hopefully he's playing this week. We'll keep updated on the Byron Jones thing. Hopefully he gets out there. Armstead was out with toe maintenance. You know, he's having that foot and toe issue. It's something he had back. You know, he had turf toe a lot from playing indoors for the Saints. Ethan Carter's still in the concussion protocol. You know, it's odd to think that Ethan Carter's been on the concussion protocol for weeks now, and Tua didn't end up on the concussion protocol. I don't want to say shenanigans, but how in the bloody hell has Ethan Carter had a concussion and been recovering from it for over a month now, and Tua never even entered the concussion protocol? Xavier Howard has been dealing with a groin injury. Trey Flowers, undisclosed, missed practice on Monday. The Dolphins, who needed a third quarterback while Tagovailoa heals, signed Reed Sinnet to the practice squad. He's the third healthy quarterback in a Dolphins building, joining Teddy Bridgewater, who will start on Sunday at the Jets, and Skyler Thompson, who will be the number 2 while Tua remains out. Sinnet spent parts of the past 2 seasons on the Dolphins practice squad and several weeks on their 53-man roster before being released last October 23rd. Immediately after, the Eagles claimed him off waivers, and he spent the 2022 offseason and preseason with the Eagles. Philadelphia released Sinnet on August 30th, signed him to their practice squad on the 31st, and then released him again on the 7th. He has not appeared in a regular season game, but played well for the Dolphins in their 2021 preseason finale against none other than the Cincinnati Bengals. Wilkins is appealing his NFL $13,000 $261 fine, which stemmed from an incident with Josh Allen during the Buffalo game. After Allen was penalized for grabbing Wilkins' face mask, Allen gestured that Wilkins grabbed near his junk area. It says groin here, but I put junk in instead. I don't agree with that and what I'm being accused of me and how things were handled, Wilkins said. So he's going to fight back at that. I want to say that when Allen was on top of him and had his knee all down on top of him, I'm pretty sure I seen Wilkins pinch the inside of his thigh. I want to say Ali was the one that pointed that out to me, but I went back and watched it, and yeah, it looks like he pinches the inside of his thigh. But bro, you're like down on my arm and neck with your knee. Get the hell off me, bro. You know, and yeah, you get a little pinchy poo, It is what it is. Don't say I'm trying to fill you up, homie. The Jets on the schedule this week. Hill was asked about how close he was to joining the Jets in this offseason via trade. It was very close to happening, but it was just one of those state taxes, man. He said, I realized I had to make a grown-up decision, and here I am in the great city of Miami. It's great weather, great people, beautiful people. Here I am. Hill wants improvement from his receiver group, which has been one of the strengths of the team so far. The message to the receiver room is that we've got to do better, Hill said, to open up more lanes and give more gaps. The receivers have to block downfield. If we begin to get comfortable with who we are as an offense, if we begin to get comfortable with who we are as an offense, bad things will happen and teams will start to figure us out. We need to continue to work fundamentals, techniques that will help us moving forward. So, yay. All right, guys, let's pull up the Mike McDaniel interview from today. Let me get that bad mamma jamma going. Guys, make sure you're hitting that like and subscribing if you're new. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, come on over to you. And make sure you guys are checking out the great content we have here. Tonk 7 on Tuesdays. See if we can get them back on track tomorrow. Thursday nights, late night color commentary coming at you every Saturday mornings or other mornings of the week. But you guys can always catch Ali with Late Night Exhale on Saturdays. Been crushing it on the Saturdays. It was an excellent show. And then you guys got me, El Capitan, every night of the week, typically. Sometimes during the day when I can get on there. And then Fridays with Cash and Tickets. You know, I've been calling the games on Sundays, but I don't know. I like calling the games, but I don't know how much more I'm going to do of those. Cash App, Venmo, help support the channel, guys. You can help support the channel also through Fanatics, link in the description, getting some of their gear or get some of our gear. There's offer codes to get 15% off. Use TFTG15, you'll get 15% off. And then there's also, guys, you can use Backroom Collections and get some 10% off of your Backroom Collection stuff. Use an offer code #TFTG. Do I take requests? What kind of requests you got, man? You want me to sing a song? I'll sing the shit out of some songs. I was singing karaoke for my grandma's 79th birthday on Sunday. Your boy can sing too. Watch out now. Where's Color? I don't know. Sleeping? Probably. Let's go ahead and get this Mike McDaniel interview up. Yeah, I can get some late night DJ coming at you. Make sure to tip your waitress on the way out.
Two. I gotta.
Lost it there for a second, guys.
Sunday, and also decided to. This is something that it's a good, definite timeline. I can comfortably say that he'll be out for this game against the Jets. But anything beyond that, we're just focused on making sure he's at optimum health and then crossing that bridge. So it's a little early for definitive timelines beyond that.
How is he doing right now, for example? Is he not supposed to look at anything? Braid, motion, all of those kind of things?
No, those are always symptomatic.
Stream with mud, water, and change it.
The bloody hell.
Mushrooms. Hi.
Yeah.
Instructions.
Looks like they got a free ad I'm having
voice.
trouble with my Google right now. I can't friggin' get it to accept. I don't know what to do because this is like the same Google account I got for my friggin' whole business account, and it won't put my premium back. I gotta friggin' contact them.
Right now he's in the building. He's had a couple good days, but he's just trying to go through with the proper procedure and protocol so that he's feeling 100%. I know he's going to be diligent with it, and if there's obviously any things that are giving him issues and stating those things, then we will shut that down.
Late firing of the neurological doctor and the closing of the
I see those as separate entities. Personally, I can't speak on what the league and specifically the union decided to do with that particular specialist. Adjust. If moving forward, it's safer for our process, and really everything involved with how we approach the medical situation. I'm still very confident in how we did that, but for the rest of it and how procedures need to be employed, I think that's not something when you're talking about matters of the brain, and I'm not going to be a foremost expert on it. I think that as long as the protocols are derived with the spirit of safe, the Miami Dolphins will be all for it.
Ultimately, who moving forward, who will determine when Tua gets the green light? Will it be the neurological people, or will it be your own doctors?
Well, all of that, it's not one person. It's a collection of contributing factors that, again, however the league mandates their influence, and the union's representative will obviously abide by, but we'll always have our medical opinions from our in-house guys, and it's not just one doctor, it's a collection of people advising. That is something that will always
A collection of doctors, and I don't feel like they made the wrong decision, but I think they just need to improve how they make their decisions and probably err more on being safe. I think that's the overwhelming answer that I think everyone can get on board with.
hold ourselves accountable.
I know that you repeatedly said that it was an independent neurology. What role in that entire process did you take day in, day out? Value.
In terms of what?
Him being cleared, him being tested and evaluated.
I mean, I'm very much involved in terms of that they're answering and giving me information. I don't think unless I need to adjust my summer schedules, I don't think I should be involved in determining concussion symptoms outside of the obvious. But that, I'll always, I think the biggest thing that I serve, and one thing that we operate within this organization is that they know first and foremost that the players' health and safety is above all else. The coaches know that, and how we address things, and the players know that as well. So mandating and making sure and being that extra voice, he says, hey, we're not trying to ever push through something with unintended consequences being pushed to the player. I mean, I'll always stay involved in that from a standpoint, from business, in terms of interjecting into a opinion that is that people years and years responsible. If I tried to pour in and say my piece as a layman who's not an expert.
There was a
Oh
report
my
today in the
God,
Brown-
bro!
Football Talk
What in the
that
bloody hell did he just say right there? That took forever.
the union also might have questions about, even with what was your level of confidence at the time that, with the instability he showed? Obviously, you guys say it wasn't something that would have hurt him more.
I'm very, very confident. The only reason I'm confident is because of everything that I've been around since I've been here, with regard to our medical staff and how they go and do their business. But as far as the inquiry that is going on from the league and from the PA, we're very happy. Must be as transparent as possible. So we're happy that all that's taking place, because we do not have anything to hide from that standpoint at all.
I wanted to make sure we confirmed with you, because this was the last thing that was pending when you last spoke on Friday. Tua's MRI, did it come back clean as well?
It did. But that can be confirmed.
And I know there was a report that he's getting 3 additional medical opinions. I think that from ESPN. Do you know that to be true?
I haven't verified that. No, I haven't. But like we do with all players, like we're not bats an eye at second or third opinions. That's when it comes to adding information for a player to understand where they're at from a health perspective. That's actually encouraged.
Okay. Get the department just confirming the team doctor, and then the team doctor ultimately to player can go, can't go. But in case final rather.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm having problems here. All of a sudden, Wi-Fi, internet slowing down. Florida's still going through it, so who knows? Maybe it's just that link that's open. I don't know. They're just grilling Coach about the concussion stuff, as one would expect. He's not. It would be I wouldn't be happy if I was him. You want to answer football stuff, not medical stuff, especially because he's not a medical profession guy, as he continues to state over and over and over again. There's no answer to it, because there's no one to blame. Yeah, I'm in South Florida. Well, no, not anymore. I lived there, but I'm in Central Florida, so. But anywho, there's no answer he's gonna give that's gonna make anyone feel any better. And could he take it back and say, yeah, I wish I wouldn't have put him in or anything like that? That's not gonna get anywhere. It's not what he would say anyhow, because I don't think even Tua would say, and you'll hear from him soon enough, I'm sure, but he's not gonna say, that he felt that he shouldn't have been in. He's a competitor. He would never say something like that. So, Teddy Bridgewater was concussed twice in a season last year and left on a stretcher the second time against the Bengals. The media doesn't care about that. Damn, Perfect Q. Way to point it out. What's up with these Bengals sending friggin' quarterbacks on stretchers? We knew the Bengals were dirty bastards, but is what it is. Part of the game in some aspects. The part they're trying to stop. But I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to get done. Yeah, they're going to kick that can. That's right, G. That's what they're going to do. They're going to kick the can. Ain't shit going to get done about it. It's going to look this. They already hung out their man out to dry. Yeah, Bengals bounty gate. I don't know. Maybe. But, yeah. What's bullshit soft? I don't know. What do you mean? I don't know. Elaborate. Said a lot of things in the last 20 seconds. Well, make sure you guys are hitting that like button and subscribing if you new. I would like for there to be a resolution to all this, but I don't think anyone's going to find a resolution until Tua gets back out there and plays and takes a hit and doesn't get injured or concussed, and then everyone will feel better about the situation. But it's gonna be some changes coming one way or another, and the NFLPA will use this as they should. We need more protection for our players. The money should be diverted into the science in some way, shape, and form. You know, I can't help but remember, like, and this was a few years back, there was these, like, kids. I think I've said this before. There was these kids that did, like, a science project, and the NFL ended up buying it off them. And what the kids found is that, no shit, you take two hard things and hit them together, it's not as bad as if you put two softer things hitting them together. So if we just put the exterior of the helmets, not hard plastic, and had it more of a, I don't want to say like the cushion from the inside to the outside, because that's a little bit too much. But if there was something to dead the blow rather than the inside cushion, something on the outside. So there's got to be something more that they can do to protect in the future in this way. They're doing well coaching these kids young to take the head out of the game. You see it all in high school and college sports. You will get flagged for spearing and, you know, flagrant type of fouls and things of that nature. But even more so when a guy just keeps putting his friggin' head down, you're going to get flagged too. And, right, you know, it was more towards neck and spine in the beginning. But now just the actual, you know, the hits, they want to protect that. And so there's got to be some better technology that can be done. I mean, damn, friggin' make the helmets each cost $25,000 a helmet. I don't know. If is $25,000 worth of head protection just too much money for the NFL? I don't think so. I mean, I think about, like, Dolphins gonna get hit with RICO charges. Yeah, I hope not. I mean, damn, dude, how many more scandals and investigate? Like, they got to be setting up a portable outside a Dolphins facility with all the investigations that we got going on around here. I mean, bloody hell, bro. Why isn't it just football talk? Why is it got to be full-on debacle? Why? Why me? Why? Why can't I just play football? What happened to my simple football podcast? No, it's becoming more political every day. I didn't want this. Why? Why? Please. Enough with the bullshit. Just let me play some damn football. God dang, bruh. Hard on a brother. Trying to just do it on YouTube and enjoy his Dolphins. Hopefully winning the damn Super Bowl this year. I don't know, guys. How's everybody feel about Teddy Two Gloves? Because it's hit and miss. There's plenty of us that like Teddy. Good dude. I think we can all agree that if Teddy's the guy going forward in the future, I don't feel very comfortable about it. It's not really something. And Teddy's name gets added to the long list of now quarterbacks for the Miami Dolphins since Dan Marino. I think it's up to like 255,000 now. But I don't know. Did you guys see Bobby Wagner straight obliterate a fan as he came onto the field? That shit was hilarious. I don't know. Where's that fan's concussion protocol at? They need to put that fan in concussion protocol ASAP and make sure that he doesn't sue. Because Bobby Wagner will put you in the hospital right now. I don't know, guys. It's an odd week as Dolphin fans. You know, we'll be gearing up for the Jets. Maybe tomorrow I'll do some Jets film breakdown and their unimpressive win against, who the hell did they just beat? I'm blanking on it right now. It's been a long weekend. Yeah, we'll look into the Jets here coming up. Oh, I see Colors in the back. What you doing, Color? You there? I can't hear you.
Just coming in to...
Oh, yeah, the Steelers. That's right. Freaking tiny hands.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah,
they beat the Steelers.
What was our name? Cairo Pickett?
Yeah, that's what you said, Cairo Pickett. You know what's funny? The Steelers, I mean, damn, bro. The Steelers, they're all hanging their heads super low, losing to the Jets. They're like, wow, the Steelers are not good this year. That's what the fans are saying. They're going at each other. And already the rumblings of Mike Tomlin, maybe he can't cut it without Roethlisberger, is starting to brew. Especially because of all the love Pittsburgh/Pennsylvanians have for the homegrown Pitt boy. I think he'll still be all right, but...
Hey, I just thought of something really interesting. I forget who brought it up about Teddy having 2 concussions last year.
Yes.
Yet he still went 7-7.
7-7.
See, what happened in Denver? Hey, everybody, what happened in Denver? Y'all wanted the answer to the question. There it is.
Color 7-7 isn't good.
I know it's not good, but I know it's not good. But I'm just saying, for all of you, he got beat out by Drew Lock. No, he suffered 2 concussions.
Listen, I don't think Drew Lock beat anybody. Let's get that clear.
I agree. Nor did Sam Darnold.
No, I don't think Drew Lock can beat anybody. Let's make that extra clear. But, I mean,
if you're talking about 17 games, I agree with you.
Yeah, Teddy. Well, and to the fact that I don't want Teddy even being considered as the future of any. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know where everybody's thinking that, though. I've never thought that for a second. Like, even if he balls out, he ain't our future. That's for sure.
No. Yeah, even if he balls out and he has his 2 or 3 games ever, I don't want to be Teddy forever. Nah, no thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking, it would have to be like ball out and we blow everybody out, including the Super Bowl. Then we might talk about Teddy being the future. But I don't see that happening.
Nah, no thank you. But I mean, listen, he should ball out. It's the Jets. He ain't never had weapons like this before. Exactly. You know, maybe since his Viking days did he ever have a team like this around him.
And I would contend not even close to what we've built.
No, not with Tyreek Hill and Waddle out there. Let's be
Viking
real.
defense
And this
might be
offense
better
too.
than ours, but
In this offense too, like the game plan, coaching. I mean, all the way around, it's pretty awesome. But
oh, it was funny. I was somewhere earlier today. Somebody had asked, "Who are all the quarterbacks in the NFL that Teddy, or what 31 teams? Which of the 31 teams would Teddy be a starter on?" And I thought, oh well, that's easy. He's already accomplished. Well, think about it. He already accomplished more in Minnesota than Kirk Cousins has. So Minnesota's one of them.
that's a little hyperbolic if you want to be real.
Well, no, it's not hyperbolic. It might be hyperbolic to say he's better than Cousins, but to say that Cousins has accomplished what he's accomplished in Minnesota is just not true.
Well, I can't argue with that.
So, I mean, he would be a starter in Minnesota simply because he's already done more than their current starter there.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Did you lose me?
Go, Teddy. No, it's probably me, bro. I'm having some troubles over here. I'm having some troubles.
I got you back.
What I was saying is that you wouldn't bring Teddy in and have an open competition between him and Kirk Cousins.
I agree. I was being hyperbolic in that respect. It was just odd. It was oddly funny how it's like, could he be a starter with Minnesota? Well, he already was, and when he was, he did more than Kirk Cousins had.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, Color, that's just ridiculous at the same. But okay, but there is plenty of teams I think he could start for. But not any that would bring him in for anything other than a stopgap guy.
Yeah, you're talking about teams that don't ever aspire to go anywhere is who he could
or
be.
are tanking. You know,
Right.
Not even allowed to say that anymore.
Which is wrong.
Not even allowed to say that anymore.
Which is totally raw deal for Teddy, but hey, it is what it is, I don't cry for millionaires. I just don't. You know what I mean?
Can't. It's impossible.
I understand there's more to life than money, but when you never had any, sometimes it feels like, yeah, I think I could deal with certain criticisms in life if I was a zillionaire. It's a little easier.
Yeah, my empathy just isn't there.
I agree.
So, but okay. But I wonder into this realm,
But I still ain't letting nobody trash.
I think we would like to see. I think we would like to see Skyler because of the potential of something being there, and even if it's not starting quarterback or Dolphins #1 or anything like that, but at least the growth into the tradable asset makes the sense. So I get it, and the season's not lost. So we won't see him for those reasons. But if Teddy's just, I don't want to see that team that I seen last Thursday late in the game because Teddy is just obviously ain't got the juice. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Well, an argument could be made of endurance. Like, can he go the whole 3 hours and be top? And be up to his, best performance.
Teddy?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's arguable. Like, we don't, maybe that's his. He can't really keep the juice going for a whole game.
Does he even bring the juice at all? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I wish we could go over the film. I actually thought there was plenty of juice Thursday night. He gave us the lead. Like, we were losing the ball game when he came in, and we were winning before he threw the interception.
Listen, I'm not saying Teddy played terribly, okay? But
not before the interception, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. And I get it. The interception didn't happen and that it wasn't a real interception. I'm just saying, like,
when Tua threw the ball to the other team last year,
where was the feeling? Where was the feeling?
Position, we gave him credit for that.
Look,
but Teddy gives us the lead, and then something happens that is arguable, and now he played a bad game. I don't know. I mean, he gave us the lead.
Color. Every time Teddy's been on a Dolphins showing himself, it has been lackluster. And then how he ended the game still continued to keep that narrative going. I'm saying if it continues to be what I've grown to see in aqua and orange from Teddy, that motherfucker got to get off the field. It ain't going to work.
I totally agree with you. I just think it's fair to see him in a full week of practice with a game plan for him by Mike McDaniel, where the team is all behind him and all that. And if look, I give him a half. If we're down 15 points at halftime against the Jets, what are we doing? You know what I mean? I'm totally with you guys on that. Because if you guys are right about Skyler, I'm not saying you're not. I'm just saying if you are, then a 15-point deficit should be nothing for him to erase against the Jets if we bring him in, if Teddy craps up the joint.
Well, in the same argument for Teddy to have his chance, game planned, figured in, worked out, that whole situation, I'd rather have that for the young guy.
He can do it for both. I think McDaniel is smart enough to handle it.
I have a
I
counter.
think Skyler could honestly, I think Skyler could run most game plans out there, to be honest with you.
If Mike McDaniel can do it for both in Teddy and Skyler's, for instance, then how come Teddy just seems like he ain't
when he came into
he ain't
the game
getting
against
both.
Buffalo, when he came into the game against Buffalo, the sack he took was on a play that Larnell Coleman came in for Greg Little, and it was Larnell Coleman's first snap in weeks. People forget that.
No, I
The
don't
sack
forget
came
it.
right on Larnell Coleman, who was in relief for Greg Little, who went out the play before that.
But Color, I'm going to make a counter argument here real quick. So my thing is that the reason that he looked so good in that first drive when he came in against versus Cincinnati is
hold on, Ollie? I've got to respond to this. When did I say I expect him to do that? Did you hear
just
the word
said that.
No, I
you
didn't.
said it.
Go back
You
to
said
replay
if
it.
he's what
Go
you
back to
guys
replay it.
Color,
Go
I
back
will
to replay what I said.
literally. I will literally
not.
repeat it
I
for you.
did
I will
no such
literally
thing,
repeat
bro.
it for you.
I did no such thing. I did not. I said you
Can
guys.
I repeat what you said?
I don't need you to. We've got it on recording.
Then go ahead. Then you get it, play it back, and repeat it. But until then, I will repeat what you said. You said if he lives up to what you guys expect, 15 points should be enough for him.
You guys.
You laid that at my feet. When the fuck did I ever say he can come back from 15-point deficit?
I didn't use the word expect.
Oh my fuck! Now we're nitpicking on fucking expect.
I
dude. Are you
said
kidding
if
me?
he is the guy that you guys think he is, he should be able to erase a 15-point deficit. I said nothing about expectations.
I'm saying, why the fuck would I put the boy down 15 points and tell him to climb out when I want him to get the game plan and let him fucking ride or die?
There's no indicator that we would be down 15 points against the Jets.
I'm saying there's a closer indicator with Teddy than not.
There's no
Only because-
indicator with Skyler. None. He's played 0 games.
So? What the fuck? I don't understand what you're saying. And he'll play 0 until he plays some. And I need to see some because I already have seen tons of Teddy. I've seen shit ton of Teddy. Teddy is not.
I did not say anybody should expect him to erase a 15-point deficit. I said if he is what you guys think he is, he should be able to. That's all I said. I don't know how you get. I expect that out of him. All from that.
You implied that the inspection was sought.
Now we're moving.
You implied that the if the expectations.
That I did
no,
not
you
make.
laid the implication on my feet, like as if I was fitting in your implication box.
It's not even remotely close to making that implication.
Yes,
not even remotely close.
Yes, it fucking
it's making an if-then statement.
Oh my
if you
God.
guys believe he
We're
can
taking
do
the
that,
same
it's
word, but I gotta
trouble.
reuse it in your expectations of
That's so wrong,
expectations
man.
of
That's so wrong, bro.
What are you
That's
talking
so
about?
wrong, man. That's so
It's
wrong.
not wrong. It's not wrong.
It is wrong. All I did was make an if-then statement. If you guys think he's this, then he should do this. I didn't say anybody should expect that. I didn't even imply that.
Well, you didn't have to imply it. You said it.
I said if you guys believe he is this person, then 15-point deficit should not be hard to erase. It's not an expectation. That's asking you to clarify your beliefs in the guy. Do you believe he could do that? Obviously not.
You know what, Color? Whatever, dude.
You can laugh all you want, bro.
It was funny because you reset it again and then said it's not.
I don't know
it
how
was hilarious.
I don't know how
bro.
you equate those two statements, bro. Not even in an implication. I don't know how those two statements are even remotely close to each other.
I can tell you and I are going to argue about this backstage. That's why
I'm not. I'm not going to put the energy into it. I'm not going to be told I said something that I didn't say, bro.
All right. Well, okay. Then listen. Anyhow, me, not anyone else, expect Teddy to look like the Teddy.
That. You guys are the ones that expect that.
I never said you. I said me, not anyone else. I'm talking. I said I expect, not anybody else, Teddy to continue to look like the Teddy I've known. I don't expect to see anything different. In fact, the Teddy I've seen in the aqua and orange isn't the one I expected to see at the beginning of the year. It's the one I didn't want to see. And I don't know.
Wait a minute. Everybody at halftime against the Ravens expected Tua to erase a 21-point deficit.
Who
did?
I did.
No one at halftime. No one expected that. What are you talking about?
I was calling for Skyler at that point. To be honest,
Yeah,
honest.
Did you believe Skyler could bring us back?
It would have been the least we could give him game time. I mean,
do
come
you
on.
believe he could have brought us back? That's all. It's a simple question.
Man, I feel like he could have brought us back? No, I didn't think anyone could bring us back from such a deficit in Baltimore
And that
down
would have
like
been the
that.
answer to my statement that I'm wrong, Color. I don't think he could erase a 15-point deficit. I was not saying you should expect him to. I was saying that if you believe he's that good, then a 15-point deficit should be nothing to erase, considering Tua erased a 21-point deficit.
I don't take plus 15 on anything, Color. Let's make that very clear.
You should.
Those are terrible odds. I don't give a fuck.
It was just
who's
a
back there.
question out there, bro. I wasn't laying any expectations out. It was just to put the question out there.
Color, that's kind of no. I gotta push back now. That is laying expectations. You literally are minusing 15 points and creating an expectation paradigm that you want us to live and not live in at the same time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Expectations would be, I believe he should be able to erase a 15-point deficit. That would be setting an expectation.
That's your expectation. You put expectations on us in this paradigm of belief. Yes, you did.
No, bro. I simply made an if-then statement. If it's not true, then the then statement's not true. So what? It's not an implication if it's not true. It's not an implication if you don't believe that you are in the
implication I'm making is true. And that implication of truth-dom is that Teddy will be Teddy.
Okay.
Teddy will be Teddy. Well, I mean, I've seen different than Tua other than the injury.
There you go. Tua
other than the injury. I'm going to be honest. And that I don't expect it. But it's, I mean, bro, he's teetering on a very fine line of people expecting that from him, and that doesn't spell good not only for his, physically, but his body and then his career. As far as the Teddy, I don't even want to put Tua in this conversation because he ain't fucking playing football. Mm-hmm. I would expect Teddy to continue to play the way he has, and I can only expect what I've seen from him as a Dolphins quarterback. Because guess what? Teddy's a year older. Teddy's in a different system. Different system, whatever. We could say it's the same system he's had his whole life. Different players and play calling and the whole deal. To me, I think it's neck and neck from the output you would get from a guy like Skyler, who I would expect to potentially have higher upside than Teddy based on the unknowns at
So
minimum.
the implication was correct then. You have that expectation. That's all I was asking.
Yeah, but I don't want to
Oh, I was
expect
asking.
him to climb out of a 15-point deficit as a
You could have
kid.
just said no. You didn't have to say I was setting that expectation.
Yeah, you set the expectation. I mean, let's be real.
Okay, fine. Well, then we disagree as to how to use the English language. That's fine.
I'll put it in the chat, and we'll see. I don't have to be the arbiter of this one.
I'm not taking sides.
How do you want me?
However,
Hold on. I'm not taking. We'll take no sides on this. We'll put it in the chat. How do we take the poll?
I want to chime in since I haven't been able to talk here.
But I want you to chime in. But how do I put this in the poll? How do I put it in the poll?
It's like a total reach to attack somebody, bro. It's like, hey, I know. I'll attack him for saying he expects a 15-point deficit to be erased.
Nobody's attacking anybody.
Before you create that poll, I want to tell you my thought on what Color said, because I'm sorry, Cap. I'm going to take Color's side on this, and I'll tell you why. Color said he was asking a question, if you, as in the audience, think this of whatever it may be of Skyler, then that's what you would expect. He never said I, or saying that,
or we should expect that,
or we should.
So it wasn't the royal we.
And he did not put anything in his sentence that identified us as a collective. He was talking out to an audience or you as the host when he said it. So that isn't setting expectations. I have to agree, and he is right about the English language. By doing that, he's not setting the expectation. Now, if he said, if we expect, or if I expect, or, something that identifies him himself.
I think we're missing the whole point of what I was saying. Color thinks that Color got mad at Cliff because Cliff said you put unrealistic expectations for him to bury out of a 15-point.
I didn't even get mad. I'm just pointing out that people misunderstand what the hell I'm trying to say. And it had nothing to do with setting an expectation or saying what my expectation was. It was just simply to say, you all have put out, dude. I've sat here for the last 20 minutes and watched nothing but Skyler time come through the chat. Teddy's trash. Skyler time. Well, if all that's true, then there should be no problem with Skyler accomplishing what Tua did against the Ravens, and that's coming back from a 15-point deficit against.
I think it's Sinnet time personally. Sinnet's the most, he's more proven than Skyler, and he's not a bum like Teddy. Let's go with Reed Sinnet.
Look at the preseason game they played against each other. Proven what?
Proven that he can run this offense the best. That's my expectation. Sinnet in the house, bitches.
We don't know if he can run this offense the best because Reed Sinnet didn't play in this offense. So how is he going to know?
How about the people that are anointing Skyler the next Dan Marino? That's who is expecting it.
Yeah.
So you were talking to the Dan Marino, Skyler?
Yeah, the ones that are like nothing but Teddy is trash all day and not even functioning in reality.
He's talking to Skyler now.
Such trash. You know what? If he's such trash and he's all what you guys think he is, then y'all need to be going after Mike McDaniel. We need to be having the conversation as to why he's even on our roster.
Well, I would say that Teddy Bridgewater is, and I wouldn't put it how Greg puts, Teddy sucks. But I don't think there's any future. I wouldn't put that there's a future in Skyler, or excuse me, in Teddy at all. And I think we've already agreed upon that, have we not?
Yeah, but nobody wants to actually log that into their memory.
If there's no future, what am I fucking about with it for?
Because we've got one game ahead of us, and there's no reason to be talking about unrealities. Isn't that what we've been told all summer? 2 is the starter. QB1. No reason to even talk about it. Well, here we are talking about a decision that Mike McDaniel's already made.
I'm sorry, but we talked plenty about it. and we will continue to talk about it. And it's why I prefaced, it being a hard conversation to have.
Okay, so then I'll just join the fun. Teddy's trash. And so is Tua.
All these quarterbacks are trash. Read Sinnet in there, bitches. We got it right this time. Got it right this time.
I mean, that's what everybody wants me to say.
Nobody wants you to say that, bro.
Who's trash?
Yep.
Clip it.
Say it, Color. Say it, Color. Now I'm clipping it.
I invite Master at work to clip it because everybody knows that it's bullshit. And everybody knows now I don't truly feel that way. So go ahead. Clip it. Tua is trash.
Damn. And we've dissolved again.
I mean,
we have Tua.
I can
we've
play
never.
The same game everybody is on Teddy.
We've never said a word about Tua. It's only about Teddy.
I told you all for the last 6 months that the window between Teddy and Tua is too small for Skyler to fit in it. If he's better than Teddy, he's better than Tua.
See, listen, I'm telling you that Teddy's performance as a Dolphins quarterback has widened that gap. That's what I'm telling you. And you could say that Teddy did okay last game,
I don't agree
and
with
we can dissect his gameplay, but I'm sorry. In that final drive after the interception, and I'm looking at check down Teddy, I'm thinking, oh fuck, we ain't got no fucking shot. And guess what? Every fucking person on that team felt the same way. They're like, oh
every
fuck,
person
we
on
got
that team checked out. That's right. But long before
That's right.
Teddy got,
and you know what? That is a show of lack of leadership. And Teddy, I don't know if the guys will rally. And it's weird to me because I remember he goes down on stage with all the boys slinging the rock around and shit like that. Where's that dude? Where'd that guy go?
I have a question.
Because I certainly haven't seen that guy in Miami. I haven't seen him in Miami. So Teddy's got some proving to do.
You need to be making to Mike McDaniel the coach. Why are we not having the conversation that Mike McDaniel is making a mistake? If that's the case.
Mike McDaniel's not answering my phone calls right now because of Tua's injury. He's afraid I'm going to fucking ask about it. So I don't know what the fuck to say about that.
That's the conversation that would actually bring the fire.
He won't answer my phone calls right now.
Let me ask this to Color real quick. So Color, I have a question. Like what I was trying to say before is that when Teddy came in, I think there was a plan for him and a whole handful of plays that they used in that entire first drive. That's why it looked so good, because it was practiced way before even the game, right? After that, it seemed like everything was not practiced. It wasn't a plan. They called plays that they decided to have a timeout and said, just throw it to Tyreek the entire time. He didn't even look at Jalen Waddle whatsoever. Not at all. I mean, you can go back.
Wasn't even on the field, bro. Half the second half.
And when he wasn't even looked at. It was looking right at
Jalen Waddle looked nicked up.
When Waddle feels like coming out to the field, make sure he sends the memo so everybody can throw the ball to him.
No, what I'm trying to say is that he didn't even look. It's the same thing, the same arguments that we had about Tua not reading his progressions and just throws it to the one person they're telling him in the ear. That's exactly what Teddy's doing.
Thank you. You're making my point for me. And who is the guy that you think is better at reading progressions on the team?
I need Red Horse Adventures to tell Mike to call me.
That is not the argument.
Out of the three quarterbacks, who do you think?
I know that I haven't been on this panel for a long time, and I know I'm not part of the Finn's tailgate as long as you have, but I'm not going to let you just run me over here over my argument. My argument for you was not.
Wait a minute, no, bro. You know what? You just caused me to give you the rest of the night, bro, because I'm not going to be accused of that kind of bullshit. You can have the entire night to yourself, dude.
Oh my God.
All
right,
Color. Don't go nowhere, Color. I want to hear. He's asking you the question, Color. He's asking you the question, Color.
Tell you what, you can have your fucking little shit. Okay?
He's gone. I don't wanted to hear his question, Color.
If you want to pull that shit out, then I'm done, bro. I'm not going to fucking be told that, bro. I'm not going to be fucking told that. If that's how it really is, bro, you all need to be calling me privately and be telling me this shit, okay? If that's the shit that you got harboring in your brain, okay, I don't want nothing more to do with it. That's bullshit. That's fucking
All right.
bullshit.
Well, I mean, he was trying to talk color. I didn't hear what he said, but I'd like him to put it in chat at the very minimum. I guess he did leave. He could come back, but Ali, what was your question?
For somebody to go there.
To go where?
Where he fucking went.
What color? That you barreled over him a little bit? I mean, you did. So what?
Because of how I see his position at the Finns tailgate. Really?
No, I don't know if
Seriously,
that
bro?
was. I don't know if that's how his. I mean, that's how he put it, but I wouldn't say that's how it.
It's what the fuck he said.
I think he just wanted you to hear him too. But you wanted to get your point across.
In anybody's face, bro. I'm not gonna have that.
No,
Bro.
you haven't, but you know.
That's bullshit. That's
Well,
crossing a
I'm
line,
sure-
and you fucking know it.
I don't know. I mean, it sounds like there's definitely needs to be a conversation.
Now,
That's
obviously,
for sure.
a conversation I didn't know needed to be had because I didn't know anybody felt that way.
Well, I mean,
Maybe I'll
you'll
go
have
direct
that.
my energy to
Ali's
where
back
it
though.
belongs. How about I'll start directing my energy to where it belongs? Number one. How about that?
Where does it belong?
Number one.
Oh, okay. Well, Ali came back. Ali, go ahead with your question.
First of all, Color, I'm sorry I got disconnected and I couldn't finish my freaking sentence. And second of all, oh, he wants to run off now. Okay, you be like that, Color. Go ahead and be that way. I wanted to come and talk like a gentleman. All I was addressing is the fact I know I haven't been here as long, and sometimes, I may not be as knowledgeable as you are. That's what I was talking about. But obviously, he wanted to automatically shut my argument down and didn't even allow me to finish. So whatever, Color, be that way. Be that way. All I was saying, Captain, is the fact is that the first drive looked like it was planned. They had a playbook that was already rehearsed, and that's why it looks so good. And then afterwards, it just looked like the same old Teddy. And in addition to it, I don't think they have a full playbook that meets his skill set yet. I think that's why. I think that's what in 4 days.
Well, Ali,
you really can't do that.
to me, what skill set are we talking about with Teddy? Like, what kind of skill set are we really talking about? We're talking about a middling quarterback that, I mean, listen, I don't want to dog Teddy because he's our quarterback, and I think you can win football games with him. My problem with Teddy over Skyler in particularly is that there's unknowns with Skyler. Could Skyler be Reed Sinnet? Sure. Could he be, the next washed out bum? Chances and history would tell me yes, that's probably way more likely than him being the next great thing. And even then, we're talking about a placeholder. First of all, I blame this entire TFTG fight on Tua getting injured. Thanks a lot. None of this would happen right now if he wasn't fucking injured. I blame that on that if he wasn't injured.
Listen, everybody, let's be real. This whole thing that happened didn't just hurt the team. It's hurt the fan base. It's hurt everybody, even people that are not necessarily fans, but part of the NFL. It's hurt everybody,
bro.
And everybody's
Listen,
just emotional right now.
That was
That's
my whole episode. That this is bothering the NFL, and this is gonna get worse before it gets better. Because even when the corrections come, there'll be overcorrections, and it'll hurt the game, and it won't make things better as much as it'll be abused, which is fucking sucks. But that's just the facts.
Yeah.
Now, when we get at about the argument of Teddy and Skyler and fucking Joe Blow all at quarterback, that puts us right back to where we've been. A frustrated franchise with no answers at quarterback. And for a slight time here this year, I felt like we all felt there was an answer at quarterback. And here we sit again with more questions. Now, will Tua endure? Will he come back? Will things be better? God willing. But I got to be honest, if I would rather roll with the unknowns than try to think I can change things that I know that already are. And that's a fact with Teddy. I'm sorry, but there is a limitation in his game. Yeah, we've seen him push the ball down the field. I get it. There's this slim margin between him and Tua. But I got to be honest. from this year to now, Tua has further gotten away from that slim margin, and Teddy has further fallen back from that margin. Right now, could Teddy change that this game coming up? Yes, he could definitely. He could definitely gain ground on Tua. And in fact, here goes that margin between Tua now being injured, going down from where it was up, and Teddy going up from where he's been down. Could we be closer to that in the middle where it is harder for Skyler to slip in? Yes, theoretically. But right now, with this wide-gapped margin as I see it, I say roll with the fucking young guy. But, I mean, that is what it is.
I think that's the reason I wanted to roll with the young guy is because I want to see them be able to develop a younger QB. Because regardless, let's say Tua, unfortunately, now hopefully knock on wood, this doesn't happen, but let's say Tua can't play ever again for whatever reason, right? And we have to find the new face of that franchise. I want to have confidence that the new regime can develop that younger QB. And if you already have him in house, why don't you start now? You know,
I mean, that's the Dolphins fan base, though, bro. Like we haven't been able to homegrown a QB, and that's just facts. I think that's why we were all so, I don't want to say on board with Tua, but we felt like, and he was sold, bought, and was a polished quarterback that we just figured, hey, you get weapons, you put the game plan, the guy's going to work out. Now, there is injury questions and stuff like that and concerns that have continued to rear their ugly head. Está no bueno. I don't like it either. But, I mean, look, right here, we have had all these quarterbacks, Jay Fiedler, Damian Heward, Ray Lucas, Brian Greasy, A.J. Feely, Sage Rosenfeld, Gus Farrat, Dante Culpepper, Joey Harrington, Cleo Lemon, Trent Green, John Beck, Chad Pennington, Chad Henning, Tyler Thigpen, Matt Moore, Ryan Tannehill, Jay Cutler, Brock Osweiler, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Josh Rosen, Tagovailoa, Brissett, and now Bridgewater. That name for a starting quarterback shouldn't be Teddy Bridgewater because I know what that name's got. And I know that there's a lot of names on here that are just another guy, another Ray Lucas, another Damian Hubert. I got that. But I don't know. Call me a gambling man if you want. But to me, Pat White never started for the Dolphins. He only came. That's how sad Pat White was, G. He never started a game. Never started one.
Did he take a really bad hit while he was here?
Yes.
The one time he played? Yeah.
Yes, he got freaking annihilated. And then he went to the Canadian Football League and won a couple of championships.
Now he's coaching. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like things can't be different for people. But I don't know, man. It's not the place we wanted to be. You know, losses are losses. This isn't like losses. This puts us back 20 years again, it feels like. You know what I'm saying? It feels like it puts us back behind the 8 ball. And yeah, you're right. We do have 2 homegrown guys, Tua and Skyler, but it's not like we have answers on those things. And I feel like I have way more answers with Tua than I definitely had at the beginning of this year. But there still is concerns as far as franchise goes. And hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully this is, I don't want to say an isolated incident because that's obviously not the case. Hopefully this is something they can correct, coach, get figured out. Because this season lives and dies by whether or not Tua makes it. It really does. And if the season's a wash, and I said this months ago, I don't want a washed season going with a maybe competitive, semi-competitive Teddy Bridgewater. I've had plenty of those seasons already. Put the young guy in, find out what you got, because then in comes the next step in this long, painful process of where do we go at the end of the year. If Tua's not the guy, do we try Skyler all year next year? Don't take that first-round draft pick. There's our free agents, Lamar Jackson and company out there. I mean, this is the shit that will be the topic of our conversations until they're fucking not. Whether you love Tua, want him to work out, doesn't matter. They are the reality of this fan base until it's not. And that's just a fact. And to me, that only further, I don't want to say exacerbates, but further continues with Teddy Bridgewater at center. One way or another. Everybody hit the like button.
Yeah.
So, Color, just so you know, if you're watching, you are losing the poll in the expectations on Skyler, but we're talking a slim margin here. 61-49, but there's only 54 votes. There's 113 people watching, so maybe we'll get a little. I think it'll probably end up closer to 50-50 than you think.
Yeah, I wish Color would come back so I can finish what I was talking about. I just wanted to. I was just trying to point out that, you know, if he's this seasoned person, why isn't he going through the progressions? That's what my concern is. You know what I mean? If he's this veteran and everything, you know, why isn't he going through his progressions? Why was he not looking over at Jalen Waddle? You know, there's many times. Go ahead.
As far as progressions go with Teddy, that's not even my concern at that point. Like in the relief guy that comes in, just give me a wild card. You know what I'm saying? Like, go balls to the wall. You know, especially at you know, during the checkdowns, and I get it. That's something a lot of teams do. Push down the field. They're going to protect the back end, take the underneath stuff, and I get it. It's up to plan. It's up to snuff, everything like that. I don't believe in a 2-minute drive to get all the way down to the end zone and get the 8-point, 2-point conversion. That Teddy's the type of guy I feel will get that done. Now, in the pantheon of understanding NFL quarterbacks, yeah, you would go with the veteran guy getting you there well before you would go with the unproven rookie. I agree. There's no uncertainty in that fact. But I don't know. Color, are you in the back? You want to come up? I mean, I think you have controls, don't you?
Yeah. I'm just refreshed to know that half of our audience knows how to use the English language. It's really refreshing to see that.
It's at 60-40, so I'm telling you, it's pretty close. It's only at 57 votes. We'll see where it ends up, but I expected it. It's only a yes and no question. I expected it to be 50-50, honestly. I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying that you kind of said it at the same time.
No, I didn't. I will go to my grave saying, no, I didn't. I didn't even remotely set that expectation.
I agree with Color.
Guys, what I was trying to say was, you guys are setting that expectation. That's what I was trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me. Right?
And that's an unrealistic expectation. So I actually agree with Cliff D. I never even got to that point because y'all want to sit here and pile on me and egg it out of me. Because you know you're going to get it. Guess what? I've been hit on the head a few times too. Maybe you shouldn't draw the CTE out of me.
I wish I could draw CTE out and, make it into something I could sell over the counter.
Well, I don't think, and sorry, EM, I don't think Cliff D is a troll like everybody else does. I made a point, and he made another point, and I was simply clarifying to him that I did not set that expectation. And then I had to spend the last hour arguing about whether I said that or not, because I have no support from my show hosts.
Cliff asked to name a few people you would expect other than Skyler to erase a 15-point halftime deficit. You expect now. Expect not.
Color, did you say you have no support from your
Patrick
show host?
Mahomes.
I actually said I'm on your side. Just so you're
Ali's been claiming him on your side against me since it started.
Yeah, and then you proceeded to throw in my face our
actually, you didn't even let me explain what I was talking about.
Then you decided to put us all on a totem pole. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't believe in totem poles, bro. So
okay, I understand.
If you think that, then there's no future going forward with us as partners.
I have the Finn's tailgate totem right there. See it?
something I learned, a long time ago, that assuming makes an ass out of you and me, and you're assuming
I didn't
that's what I
assume
was
anything
doing.
but what the words that came out of your mouth,
And
bro.
you didn't let me finish. What I was stating is that sometimes it may not seem like I'm as knowledgeable as you guys. That's what I was talking about. I was giving you guys a compliment, actually. And if you feel that that's not a compliment, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way. That take any ill will of it. It was really telling you that I'm trying to, talk and say something here, to have a productive conversation. And I'm sorry that you feel the way that you do. I really am. And it was not meant in any other kind of way.
I'm sorry for nothing, Color. No, I'm just busting your balls, bro. You can just I'm sorry. It's late. I say this. There was a scenario laid out. Zero expectations put on anyone's anything at all. But the numbers were put. I don't see how anyone can expect much quarterbacks to come down two plus scores, especially a young guy like that. Now I understand the high expectation
as Teddy. That's
well,
all I was saying.
Yes, but
all I was saying, he is just as much a risk.
That's right. I agree. Risks are equal.
Risk is coming from a different place, but it's still just as much risk in quantity.
Risks are equal. Teddy and Skyler, equal risks. How does that help? How does that help? Because Teddy has the equal risks of a 7th round rookie, Color. And he's a 10-year vet. That's my there's where I make my quantifications. That here's a guy that has gone from, this is being his 5th or 6th team at this point, having equal risks where there shouldn't be equality in anything in this scenario.
I just want to know what you guys want me to do all week. Do you guys want me to continue this argument, or do you want me to analyze how we can win against the Jets with Teddy? Because Mike McDaniel is not changing his mind.
Well, I mean, I don't see why I have to have one or the other. I think we can analyze them both. I believe you and I and Ali and the rest of everybody is capable of handling that. That we can sit here and say, what does Teddy got to do in his game abilities and plan to get the job done for a win against the Jets, which, let's be honest, it's the fucking Jets. Jets suck. But guess what? We come out with the L. Is anyone gonna say that we lose if we lose against the Jets?
And I've got to feel what it's like for somebody to support Tua all summer for this week. That's my penance, is what you're saying. That's what I said. That's what I said. Even though everybody's calling him trash all week,
that's what I said.
Deal with everybody calling him trash and analyze how he's going to win the game.
That's what I said, Color. That's
my penance.
Who's implying now? That's you implying that that's what I said, and I said nothing of the sort. So I never said you have to take the penance of two ears.
To call Teddy trash without pushing back on it.
I didn't push back on people calling Tua trash, Teddy trash, Skyler trash, me trash. I don't give a shit.
Since Tua got the heat, Teddy gets it too. Okay, I get it. It's penance.
That's right. You're QB1, you get the trash talk, because you better fucking prove something till you are something around this motherfucker. Okay. That's the truth.
In that case, like everybody likes to say, we'll keep that same energy when QB1 comes back from injury.
Fuck yeah. If it was Skyler as QB1 knotted out, I'd be excited because his first game. He comes out and loses. This motherfucker needs to get his act together. I'd be the same.
I'm talking about when the real QB1 comes back from injury, we will keep that same energy.
Color, have we not? The only reason he hasn't received trash energy, as we'll say, is motherfucker ain't been playing like trash. Been playing pretty damn good. That's right. Winning. You can't say someone's getting you wins and putting up good numbers and good showings and still call. I mean, you can, but it's just stupid. You know, I'm not gonna be on the wrong side of wrong. I'm willing to let people call Teddy trash because as a Dolphins, Teddy Bridgewater, it has been lackluster to say the least. Now, could he go out there and put up 350 yards and 3 touchdowns and the defense hold him and score 2 rushing and then we beat him by fucking 2.5 scores? fuck yeah, it's the Jets.
Okay,
but
that's
even that performance doesn't tell me that.
But when I say he's not trash, do we have to bring it out for a 3-hour debate?
Maybe.
Okay, fair enough. I got you there, bro.
Maybe,
the audience
bro.
obviously loves it.
Maybe, bro. I don't fucking know. But the thing
energy for something that's not going to change in the next 5 days is what I'm saying.
Well,
let me ask this question, because I really want to ask. Like, I know you guys say that McDaniel's already made his decision and everything, but as a fan base, you know, if we speak together, don't we have a voice?
So
we don't. No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
Why-
We're talking
why
about.
not?
I'm here right
You
now.
don't
talking.
witness what just happened this summer.
What just happened?
What happened?
A lot of voices being silenced.
Oh, I don't let that shit happen, Color. You know what time it is, dog. Don't gatekeep around here, bitch.
I'm just saying. The
you're
Dolphins
talking
are the
about
ones
that kind of
doing it
stuff.
all
Okay,
summer.
I'm
Yeah.
just talking about, like, for example, you know, before we signed Armstead, I know everybody and their mother was slamming on Twitter for the Dolphins to sign an offensive lineman. Everybody was. I was.
I don't
included.
want to hear. I don't want to hear it. But yeah, and we did. So.
Yeah, we eventually did, but I'm just saying that, you know.
But that didn't take
if
rocket
we-
science.
But here's the thing. Yeah, what I'm saying is, if you speak up enough collectively as a fan base, shit might, could happen. Like
That's
you
a
said.
problem. That's actually a problem.
You think that's a problem?
Absolutely.
I agree with him on there.
That
Yep.
proves
'cause-
what I've said in the past, that Twitter is running our organization right now. That is a problem. Seriously.
Yeah, that is a problem. I don't need that. I need guys that got way more information than us assholes got on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm.
The guys that have the direct information that they're making the decisions
If that was true,
with.
Deebo Samuel would be a Dolphin right now.
That ain't no fucking lie.
That's
that's
actually
right.
true.
Matt,
That's a good
I'll
point,
tell you
Colin.
what, if we had Debo, Tyreek, and Waddle out there, Tua would have never got injured. Would have never got injured. See what you guys did?
Is Greg Little the new Jesse Davis, though?
No, he's not.
Hell no.
He's
you
not
see
the
him
one
in
that
that
gave up
game,
the
bro?
sack
He got-
on
he got
Teddy against
pancaked.
Buffalo, bro.
No, I'm
Tried
talking
to tell
about.
you that.
What did you say? I'm sorry, Color.
I
I
said
apologize.
he's not the one that gave up the sack against Buffalo.
That's true, but if you watched him during the Bengals game, man, he didn't look good at all, to be honest.
Right. Well, but again, the alternative is Larnell Coleman.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Jesse
that's true.
and Jesse Davis. Ooh, 40. Greg Little's got his hand all taped up and shit like
Well,
that.
then this is
so-
all on Chris Greer then, because Chris Greer should have signed a proper right tackle.
Well,
Just
didn't
saying.
we say he? I mean, that was the
argument all
the
summer.
story, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Mm.
that's true.
That was the plan.
Yeah, they were talking about it a lot, but look,
What happened to the
was
guy that
Greer's
we
plan.
signed us? And I apologize if I rip his name up. I'm sorry. Snell.
Snell.
Yeah, what happened to him? Schnell, I think it is, something like that. He's like a 6-year starter that we signed.
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess
I don't know. I don't know if he's coming along. I don't know what the deal is. Who knows? But not really worried about the blind side being the right guy right now.
Right now it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Teddy's gonna have Armstead, who knows Teddy, knows some of the tendencies is blocking his blind side. They have before in the past. But to me,
don't say. That's right. That was when Teddy went 5-0 in relief in New Orleans. That's
now
right.
if Teddy comes out with that type of performance, then I'll be expected of this. But
See, until further notice, that's the performance I expect. And I don't think anything we've seen in Miami can indicate that that's all of that's gone reverse.
So I'll go in this route.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a fucking, and this is where I was coming from earlier, and it's not so much the fans can make a lot of that decision. You know who makes that decision well before the fans do? The locker room. And that's where I'm getting at. That's where I'm getting at with Teddy and the energy. I seen the the lack of energy when he came in relief in the Buffalo game. I seen them give up in that Cincinnati game. Now, I'm willing to chalk that up to short week, down and out. They run that quarterback out. You're just dejected in this way. But I'm saying we come into this Jets game and that team has got that lack there of energy. Bro, that's just as bad.
I think that you're onto something, and I think Mike McDaniel knows that temperature, bro.
That's right. I hope so. I hope so. This is a lot to ask of a first-time young coach like this, too. To know that, feel that, and then do something about it. It's a lot to ask of a young guy. Man, what a way to make his fucking bones, bro. This business.
That's why I wanted to shift the argument to his decision, because we can talk about Teddy versus Skyler all week long if you want.
Well,
but the real matter is, if you don't believe he's making the right decision by going with Teddy, then we need to be talking about why are we letting him make why are we ignoring the fact that he's making that decision?
There's a good argument in the sense
we
that
trust Mike. I thought we all came together and decided we trusted his intellect.
I think we do, and we appreciate the creativity and execution as a play caller. But I mean, look, you're caught between a rock and a hard place.
He just turned the 27th ranked quarterback into the first.
That ain't no fucking lie, bro. That's a great way to put it. He took
Teddy was ranked 25th last year, better than Tua.
But again, Color, I see your point in a higher light that if McDaniel can do what he did to Tua for Teddy, lo and behold.
And I think that's where the decision is coming from, that he believes in himself so much that you could give him Donald Duck at quarterback and he's going to be like, yeah, that's my guy.
And yeah, I think so too, but hopefully he doesn't hopefully there's, and I don't feel this from McDaniel at all, an arrogant type of thing. Square peg, round hole. But there could be if I'm watching Teddy continue through this game and struggle. Or then my discussion will be, well, how far behind is Skyler? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now
why isn't he pulling the trigger? What does he know about Skyler that we don't?
That's right. So
I get where your guys' enthusiasm is coming from, because you don't want. I get it. You guys are again. It's another case of PTSD that we all have, because most coaches we know are like long to get off the snide. You know what I mean? Like they take forever making those decisions.
Well, oddly enough,
4 games in before he decides Teddy ain't the answer. You know what I mean?
Oddly enough, the improvements that McDaniel has brought offensively in scheme and getting out of the quarterback position in this scheme makes me almost forget he's a first-time head coach. Yeah. Makes me forget how green this guy is because of where we sit. Like, we don't even talk or think, something I talked plenty about in the offseason, about potentially being a lame duck coach. You know, we talked about that. Those seem like long, distant things from years ago. It seems like this is a guy that will be here for years to come. I will wonder more on Skyler than on McDaniel if Teddy plays the whole game and it results in bad football from the quarterback position.
Now, I get your guys' concern. And if you're talking about a coach that doesn't pull the trigger when it needs to be pulled, like in my mind, this is why I brought up the deficit thing, because it really was a moot point about, I could have said 20 points. It was just to point out that the leash should be no longer than the first half against the Jets. Because if we do believe that Skyler has those abilities translate to being able to erase a 15-point deficit. That was not setting an expectation. That was just saying that the qualities you guys attribute to him are the type of qualities that can erase a 15-point deficit in a half of football. Yeah. That's all I was saying. Wasn't setting the expectation.
And we have to remember we got 10 days to prepare for this next game versus the Jets, and the fact that we have 10 days to do so, I think what we see out of Teddy may be a lot better or even different than what we saw in the last 2 games. To be honest,
It's still probably not as good as you guys want it to be.
Why not?
But
why can't it be?
Because I'll give you that. I'm not trying to like put him on a pedestal.
There's where I put.
Hold on, real quick. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Captain, but we have to remember we just had the conversation about McDaniel and the trust we're putting into him. Maybe he just needs time, and maybe that's all it is, and maybe he can flip the switch on Teddy. Who knows?
He also needs to be the
base
guy.
and this team don't have time, bro.
Teddy's had to stand second fiddle to a guy that maybe he doesn't believe he should be second fiddle to.
I understand. I'm just saying.
I don't think the body language or the taking advantage of the opportunities up to this point now, this could change, shows me something like that.
Good point, Capitan. Let me ask you this. Do you believe that up to this point that they've been real opportunities? Do you think he believes that they were genuine opportunities? So if he doesn't believe they're genuine, he's not going to put his emotion into it.
That's actually a good point, Colin.
Well, to me, that's a piss poor attitude, especially from a fucking veteran that should be counting.
Can you blame him though with what you see on Twitter all summer? Glorifying a guy.
Because I don't blame anyone else. I don't blame anyone else for someone's own actions. I will totally do. Guess what? If Teddy went out there and fucking threw 2 fucking dimes, maybe they didn't bring. If Teddy comes out and scores at the half, if Teddy comes in and scores at the half, before the half,
what he did, it didn't matter how spectacular he looked in training camp. He was not getting the job.
So he takes the job with the idea that I can be better than this guy, then gets told, don't worry about it.
Maybe he's been waiting for this type of opportunity, which is a real opportunity because there's no question. There's a question as to when Tua will return. So this is a real opportunity. We can blame him. You're right. It should have always been seen as a real opportunity by him. You're right. That's what a real man does. Sure.
I'm not saying I can't excuse him for some, but we're talking lackluster play. And I'm not saying that I need him to play spectacular to beat NFL teams, not with this roster that's constructed. But what I am saying is that the last quarterback I had in here was playing spectacular and raising his level to the talent around him. And I don't see Teddy and haven't seen him play that way as a Dolphin, or even last year when he was playing with whatchamacallit. You could say whatever, but we don't have a Jadavian Williams on our football team. We don't have a run game like that. And it's just facts. And 7-7 ain't good enough. It never was. It wasn't good enough way back when. 500 ain't going to cut it. I need someone who's going to meet the talent halfway.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we're going 14 games,
Skyler Thompson
to get a 7-7 record, then we should be on Skyler anyway.
Well, okay. I look at it like this: Tua, QB1 all day. Teddy brought in. He wilters, per se, and we'll call it that for lack of a better term. That he knows he's not getting a real shot to play. That didn't stop fucking Skyler Thompson at all. So much so the son of a bitch made his own roster spot.
Yeah, but
that's the type of shit I'll try to put. But that's the stuff I want to put my money on. I want to put my money on the guy making his bones.
But his opportunity is in a different paradigm. He's a rookie coming in. He should expect not to have a real opportunity.
Well, how about Teddy keeping fucking Skyler from taking his job? Where's that opportunity? Where's that fucking type of fire?
He hasn't taken his job.
I mean, this... For now, but I mean, listen, no teams don't carry 3 quarterbacks typically. I mean, the fact that you let a third one stick on your roster, Teddy, should be any other reason other than, hey, he can't get his snaps. He can't get his snaps to ball out because I'm too busy balling the fuck out.
That's the fairest point you've made yet.
Nah, all my points are fair. I just got to talk long enough.
Yeah.
All your points are right.
Color, can I ask you another question? Do you think that maybe the issue with rolling with Teddy could be contributed to the lack of play from the running game?
Well, he does need a running game. I mean, if you're talking about him as a long-term starter, he's the type of guy that does need.
Yeah, for this season. Yeah. The reason I'm asking is because if you go back to the Saints, because I know that's, everyone points out that he won 5 or 6 games with the Saints, in a row. One thing they have is a running game. They've always seemed to have a reputable running game, and I think our running game has been very much so underperforming. Yeah. So that's kind of why
we did get a good 4.6 yard average out of Mostert Thursday with 69 yards on 15 carries.
Yeah, but I
know that's lackluster, but it's getting better. You know what I mean?
I understand it. It's getting a little bit better. My concern is we haven't rushed for over 100 yards at all this season. In a game,
not even in committee. I don't know the numbers.
Not even in committee. It's not has not exceeded 100 yards yet. That's
Color,
why
it's at 70 votes, and it's 53% to yes and 47 to no. So edged out by the slimmest of margins that you did put expectations on Skyler.
Okay, I guess I did then. I don't know how.
By the slimmest of margins. Dude, we're talking like out of those 70. There's like 3 that are yes to where the 3 that are not.
I'll let the mob rule democracy win. I guess.
There it is. I mean, democracy won. So
let's all go change the dictionary now, since we've all voted to change it.
I think I
can't even say Can't even say the word expectations without them being put. Color. What were you thinking?
I didn't use the word, bro. Go back and look at the recording.
I'll look. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I know.
The only time the word expectation came up was literally when Cliff D typed it. That's what threw me off. That's why I answered to him, because I was like, what are you talking about? When did that word even come out of my mouth?
I don't know. I'll have to put it in rewind. Somebody earmark it in the comments after the video and put it there, and we'll go back and check it.
I mean, if people received it that way, I can accept that. If 53% of the people received it that way, then obviously that's reality now,
I can't argue with reality, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, it is 1985. So, anyhow, round and round we go. It's not because anyone's scared of the Jets. Let's make that very, very clear. I think we could win with fucking Cedric Wilson Jr. at fucking quarterback. So, but this should be where Mike McDaniel should, maybe we start seeing a little bit more of that run game. Maybe Hunter Long gets out there this week.
Raven's right. There is about a 5% margin of error,
Yeah,
you know damn well that half of those people just wanted to see more fire.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, they probably did.
Uh-huh.
I do have concerns with our secondary. Do we know anything about X? Is he okay? What's going on
X
with
is just nursing a groin. I'm sure he'll be back, but we get Byron Jones back this week.
That's true.
If we get lucky.
Thank you for the reminder.
We get Byron Jones back, we gonna be golden. But concerns to who? Fucking Zach Wilson threw 3 interceptions last game. I'm more concerned with the linebacker play, keeping that little bastard from getting outside the pocket and trying to extend plays, thinking he's Patrick Mahomes out there, little freaking guy. I mean, let's get real.
Well, the guy that I'm concerned about, only because I know what he can do when he has a reputable quarterback thrown to him, and that's Garrett Wilson. I know what Garrett Wilson can do. He can get open. He's elusive, but with Joe Flacco throwing to him, it may not look as pretty yet, and I don't know what Zach Wilson's going to bring. So that's kind of what my concern is.
That Dolphins realtor makes a good point. Kahu is the 5th best defensive player.
Damn, still.
I mean, DB. Yeah, he's still crushing it out there, breaking up passes. I'm not super worried about their passing attack. Let's be real. They capitalized off of some bad plays against the Steelers. A Steelers team that's got all their own issues at the quarterback position in their own right. And, that team barely edged out a win. You know, it's a good moral victory for them. They can feel good. We know they're going to play us tough at home against the Dolphins. That's just how it's going to go. But that team has all kinds of problems. Their secondary is thin with that first, you know, who the hell's going to cover the wide receivers for them, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, their defense ain't the same. That team just is still struggling on all over the place. There's no solidification in any execution out of that football team. They got some running backs.
Jamison Crowder, which was a good outlet for Zach. I mean, Zach actually moved the ball quite well against us in our last meeting.
To the slot guys.
Yeah, to the slot guys, mainly Jamison Crowder and guys like that. You know, I mean,
they still got Braxton Berrios, but you know, it's not like he's a world beater. Let's be real. They're a team with more questions than answers, and yeah, they're feeling good because their quarterback's back. It's not like he's done anything to wow people, and maybe they wowed the Jets fans, but let's be honest, they're easily impressed because they've been terrible for so long.
Crypto says they have the fastest CD in the draft. Yeah, but what have they done with him?
Yeah,
like, I haven't even heard his name.
Big whoop.
Sauce
you know what I'm
who?
saying?
Sauce who?
Yeah.
He still has to
Sauceless.
be faster than Tyreek and Waddle.
Yeah, and that's fine. He's going to be fastly running out of a position. You know, I mean, what do you want from him? I'm not too. And we'll look at the film probably tomorrow or the next day for the Jets and some scouting. But I mean, this isn't like it's not the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? It's not even the games we've played up to this point. It's not the freaking Pats. It's not the Bills. It's not the Ravens, and it's not even Cincinnati, who I feel like got lucky as shit. Honestly, it's the Jets. We can handle our business. Even with mediocre quarterback play, we should be able to handle our business. My worry is Teddy loses this game. You know what I'm saying? That's a potential. I think this is the Dolphins' game to lose, no matter whom is at quarterback.
I'll at least concede to you that that's a fair concern.
Yeah, because
I just don't believe that it's going to come to fruition.
Well, look, even my concern too is Teddy, you know, passes for 2 touchdowns and 280 yards, and we win the game and whatnot. It's still not going to be good enough to stay competitive. Now, I get it. It's stopgap because we're going to get Tua back. When? I don't know. I'm just still having the same concerns.
If we get word that we're not, then we do need to make the transition to the...
Oh, yeah. We get word that we're not, then it's Skyler time all the rest of the year.
I want Teddy backing him up for precisely the same reasons. I've said that for months.
Yeah, to me...
Teddy's a backup, like you guys keep saying. So, yeah, if we're talking about a long-term situation, be done with it, move on to the rookie, and have Teddy backing him up.
Mm-hmm.
But even still with the questions, and I feel
Let me ask you guys this. I haven't asked you yet, Chris, on this. And I might have in a private conversation, I don't remember, but it needs to be out there anyway. Let's say you make the move now and you start Skyler. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody was wrong. He's totally a rookie, has all kinds of growing pains and craps out, right? So you put Teddy back in, right? Now what happens if Teddy flops? Do you go back to the guy you just watched flop?
Well, that's why I don't even want to start Teddy.
Color, that's a really good point. And
that's why I don't want to start Teddy. That's why I want to start Skyler.
If they both flop at that point,
I already have the answer.
At least if Teddy flops, you can say, "Oh, well, our season's done. We're going to go with the rookie and forget. Who cares if he flops? You've got all the political capital in the world at that point."
Color, on Saturday, remember I asked EM, "Do you think we should bring in another quarterback?" And you guys said no. Well, if that scenario happens, like you said, Color, Reed Sinnet's in our back unit. Exactly.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, but again, I don't think Reed Sinnet was brought in for that purpose.
So I feel like with Teddy, I understand the ceiling and the floor. With Skyler, I don't know.
But there again, that's the thing. Your ceiling, though, is good enough to win a few games with our team. Okay?
Yes.
But so if you put Skyler in first and he flops, then you're going back to that. What if we don't get that ceiling out of Teddy coming in for Skyler at that point? Then who do you go back to? Skyler?
Skyler is still a rookie that can grow, that can learn. It's not like, he
got a
flops
guy
and
that
he's
can possibly
dead.
win. How is Mike McDaniel going to recover politically from that choice if you've got a guy that is
So
proven
for
to
me,
be
the
able to win in
political
league?
political judgment is taken care of by the locker room and the play during practice. That's it. Naming Teddy QB, starting QB already tells me that that's not even considered. It
Just
wasn't.
like it wasn't
isn't.
considered with Tua.
Absolutely, and that was
For
my
the
problem
same
with then.
reasons.
Well, now if we find for the same results, because Teddy's out there playing like fucking Teddy Bridgewater of 2014
Then
or whatever
when
the
you go
fuck
to
he
the
got
rookie-
here.
But
then
then
I'll
when
go,
you go to
"Alright."
the rookie, at that point, if you go to the rookie and he flops, nobody's going to say, hey, what else choice do we have at that point?
No, because, I mean, you go with the rookie. If the rookie was starting this week, everyone would think, holy shit, wow, Skyler came out and beat Teddy. Then Mike McDaniel would go, well, listen, it was a close battle between the two. We're all that confident in Teddy and what his abilities are. We just wanted to see.
Bro. I've seen unscientific polls that tell me that this fan base will roll Mike McDaniel over the coals if he starts Skyler and we don't beat the Jets.
Mike McDaniel is one Tua saying I ain't playing or some other injury happened from getting rolled over the fucking coals anyhow.
No, I'm talking about by our fan base. I'm saying that the numbers are over 50% want to start Teddy.
I
And
disagree
all the
with
polls
that.
I've seen.
I don't, for real. There was polls where it says most people want to
All
see
over
Teddy
the place
over.
today, man. Like it's
Wow.
like 60-40.
But do you see how a poll that close, even 60-40?
My point is only that if Mike McDaniel makes the wrong choice, he's getting raked over the coals. He's going to make the choice for to somebody that is proven to win in relief of somebody. Not as a starter, I get it, but in relief, he has proven recently that he can win. And so if you choose to go with the total unknown other than practice, and it fails,
so to
he has
me,
to answer to that 60% of the fan base that wanted Teddy to start against the Jets.
Especially since
we
the
still
season
believe
isn't
our
lost
season
yet.
is winnable.
That's right. That's right. Correct.
So, but also the unknown in itself gives you a competitive advantage right away. You roll out Skyler come Sunday, ain't one motherfucker
That
ever
all
prepared
depends
for
on
that,
the
bro.
unknown that we
If
don't
we're
know.
talking one game in relief,
That all depends on something that we
Give
don't
me
know
Skyler.
because we're not in the building to know what Mike McDaniel thinks about Skyler.
That is true. And I made that point a little bit earlier. And I will wonder if I see Teddy and it's the fucking end of the third, we're down 20 points to somebody. I don't think it's this week. And Teddy's looked like shit all day. Now do you pull Teddy and put
And
Skyler
that's
in?
the question that you guys are paranoid of. That's why you're pumping up Skyler because you don't
You
think Mike McDaniel's
pull
gonna make that
Teddy.
decision.
Well, no. You pull Teddy and put Skyler in. Now there's no coming back from it. Now there's no coming back from it. You put Skyler in first, you can always say, hey, we know what we got in Teddy. We got to see what we got in Skyler. Had a good week of practice. We feel good about his chances. We think he's ready. Guess he needs more time to simmer. Good thing we got Teddy over here. Bazing. Don't tell me I am wrong. I know I is right. Give me some Skyler time.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I'm just saying.
I
It's going to be you, me, and Ali are the only ones on the internet going to be defending Mike McDaniel when it goes south, man.
Listen, Mike did everything he could, dumbasses. Don't tell me. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I kind of like. I do agree. I think McDaniel has to go with the proven winner here. We're 3-1, bro. We have an easy set of games coming up that are actually now they're must win. We have to win those easy games while we can.
Every game's a must win, Ali. until you get later in the
disagree.
season.
I don't disagree, but I think we really need to make sure we're on our game until
if
hopefully
you're Buffalo.
But no, I think that we need to really be focused on those games, and I kind of agree. Color has a good point. McDaniel has to go with the proven and not the mystery.
And again, the part that I think you guys are worried
All
about.
I know is that the NFL needs to hurry up and make me a head coach, because I'd be the most radical fucking head coach of all time. I would shake the fucking foundation, would be shooken to the fucking core if they'd let me coach a football team.
Because we have never seen a head coach do what you want Mike McDaniel to do this week.
That's right. Give me something new, bro. Something.
And even in the game, he's going to go the whole game. Watch, we're going to be down by 20.
Gonna go
and
whole
he'll keep
fucking
Teddy in the whole entire
whoa.
game, man.
We ain't down by 20 this game. This game is in the bag. But
Actually, question: when Breeze went down, was it last year? When did
2
Breeze
years
retire?
ago.
It was
2
2 years
years
ago. Okay, who was the quarterback for? It was Winston that got injured, I think, for the Saints, and they end up putting Book in. I think his last name's Book, right?
Ian Book. Yeah, and we beat the shit out of him.
Who was the backup for? Was it him as the backup, or was it another guy that was the backup?
They would have went to Taysom Hill if Ian would have got hurt.
Yeah, then why didn't they put Taysom Hill over Books then?
Same reason why when they rolled with Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston, like, yeah, we're going to have a real quarterback competition. The whole world's laughing. They're like, no, that guy's not a quarterback. He throws a football every now and again. What are you talking about here?
Taysom Hill is a little bit better Tim Tebow.
A little bit better football player.
Throwing. Like
less,
no. Tim Tebow.
No. I would say Tebow's a better quarterback. Taysom Hill's a better football player.
Yeah. Jay-Zan says Taysom Hill was hurt.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But Teddy was at Denver, so I don't know where you're leading to this with anyway.
Oh, no.
They
We
would
were
have made the
talking
choice
about-
over Teddy.
We were
I think
talking
he was just
about
trying to wonder
coach.
where the hell everything.
We were talking about coaches making decisions that have never been done.
Oh, I see
before.
what you're saying. Who did he put the young, unproven guy in? They had nobody, bro. They were out of quarterbacks.
Yeah, that was COVID out and shit.
Paxton had he made a crazy decision in the Super Bowl with the onside kick at halftime, at the beginning of the second half. That was a crazy decision.
Fortune favors the bold, bitches. Okay, and taking bold choices and making bold plays, I promise you, you come out rolling out with Skyler Thompson, him starting that game almost ensures a victory, because the Jets, defensively, team-wise, first of all, they'll all be watching and be like, damn, I want to see this Skyler kid. I don't even know who the fuck he... Defense, they'll just never be prepared for it. Not prepared for his cadences, not prepared for how he moves. I got fucking miles of tape on what Teddy can and can't do. I ain't got a fucking lick of maybe some preseason games against varying talents that I think Skyler can do. What am I looking at? Some college tape against guys he ain't had? I'm just saying. Now, could we see Skyler come out, do well, following week, get typecasted and destroyed? Sure. But I don't know. Like I said again, let me coach some football, or at least make some decisions. Just make me a GM.
There's also the other aspect you have to consider. Remember what I said about that window between Teddy and Tua? I don't think the organization wants there to be a controversy when Tua comes back.
That is true.
That I feel you there. Shib Army puts it good. Teddy did better in Denver than Russell is. That ain't no fucking lie.
Ain't that the truth?
What is fucking going on? Russell Wilson.
Did you guys see the injuries that Denver have now? Javonte Williams is injured.
No, they dropping like flies now, huh? They're all rats off a ship now.
One of their other big time players is injured too now. It's crazy.
They're like, damn, dude, if I got to play this hard to lose this suckily, why am I even out here? My friggin' knee hurts.
Yeah, the injury bug is a lot like the plague. It travels on rats off a ship.
It certainly does, bro. Yeah. Teddy, look, no ill will on Teddy. I think he's good. I think we can win football games. Shit, I think if we rolled out from week 1 to week 17 with Teddy on this football team, could and should put us in the fucking playoffs.
Now, wait. Now, Capitan, what do you think? Do you think if, let's say, if middle of the week, we get the shocking news that Mike McDaniel has changed his mind in starting Skyler, right?
What will I think?
Do you think it would be an indicator that they got some new news from Tua as far as the length of time he'll be out?
No, I would think that he was paying attention to the fucking show and have read my text messages. That's what I would think.
Because the reason I ask is because in relief, Teddy went 5-0. Now, I don't expect to get 5 wins like that. That's a fluke, sure. But if he can go 3-2,
this ain't the NFC, dog.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, if Mike McDaniel thinks, oh well, he can go 3-2 in a 5-game stretch, that's fine. But if it's going to be beyond a 5-game stretch, then might as well go with Skyler. You see what I'm saying?
Raven 187 makes a good point. Saleh is from the same tree. Don't lose sight of that. That is a good point. Saleh will know tendencies of McDaniel.
And they know where our weakness is on defense, so they will be running the ball heavily.
Yeah, I don't know, Color. Our run defense has been pretty decent this year.
Not if you get on the outside to get the second level tacklers, dude, because we can't tackle.
If our linebackers get caught up and our outside linebackers don't play gap, yes, but we've been pretty damn good against the run. They've only gouged us for a couple of runs timely, and not in the first 2 games, only in, well,
it is kind of ironic.
Even against the only fucking run that really hurt us in the Ravens game was the one Lamar took for a touchdown. The only run that hurt us in the Buffalo game were 2 runs that were made. One by the quarterback and one by another dude. Everything else has been kept manageable.
I'm wondering if it's just a matter of our real weakness is just being able to stop a short passing game.
You know what? If you're not getting beat over the top and you're making them one-dimensional in the passing game, I gotta kind of live with that. I can't play perfect
that's where the
fucking
coaches
football.
focused our weakness, because you gotta everybody has a weakness, so you gotta focus that weakness somewhere.
When Byron's back on the outside and Needham's back in the slot, and Howard can play his game, and they rotate in Kahoo and Cross and start moving these boys around like they've envisioned that they could, watch out, because them bitches in the slot are going to get snagged a couple of footballs. Mark my words. Because this team will hum better at that point. I'm not so worried about that. The only thing I worry about is, can Teddy do enough to win football games?
I think
he can do enough to not lose them, especially against an opponent like the Jets. But and that's just where it is. Like, to me, and Tua's on ice. I gotta look at, from now on, here's Teddy in the picture here. Okay? Because not that I don't think Tua won't be back, but that's just where my planning, my thinking, my everything goes.
And see, this I think Aqua is echoing your guys' sentiment right here. Teddy starting makes me nervous. And I get it. The rookie doesn't make you nervous because you know that he's under rookie expectations.
What is Teddy's record right now? Isn't he like
he is above 500?
Very good.
Yeah,
it's very
by
good.
1 game or 2 games. No, I'm dead serious. It's only by like 1 or 2 games. He's literally like at 500.
No, bro. No. He's actually got a very good record, dude.
That's what the weird thing
is. You don't know
is.
what you're asking. Trust me. You don't want us to pull it up right now.
Pull it up. I want to know.
Go ahead, Ollie.
I'm working on it.
I just wanted to finish this thought real quick. Skyler doesn't make you guys nervous because you know he's an unknown. So any bad thing.
Skyler loses me the game. It is what it is. Teddy loses me the game. I'm fucking pissed.
But that's what I'm saying. Wouldn't you rather have that after Teddy flops out? Now we all can go in with Skyler and say, hey, can't expect much. All the pressure is off of him. You see what I'm saying?
No,
you put Skyler in now, you're dumping a whole bunch of pressure on him.
No, because to me, maybe you're dumping the pressure on him, but I'd rather see him sink swim, and if he don't work out, all right, Put the veteran back in to steady the ship.
1-3, I'd be all with you on that.
Because 1-3, I got to win some games. At least I can lose or win 1 or 2 around here. I think Tua's coming back. Right. You know what I'm saying? I think Tua will right this ship and get us back to competitive football.
You don't take the risk of dropping games. You got to go with Teddy.
Okay. So round and fucking round we go.
Exactly.
So Teddy Bridgewater's
that's why the question really becomes, what is Mike McDaniel's decision? How should we praise that or scrutinize it depending on the results of the game Sunday?
Teddy Bridgewater's win-loss record is 41-32, so he has about a 57% win-loss record.
41-32. It's not that big of a stretch we're talking about here.
In the NFL, it is.
How many years?
Now pull up Kyle Shanahan's coaching record.
I don't need Kyle Shanahan. He ain't my coach.
I want to see an example of something that's closer to 500.
I don't want to hear it. I already know how lopsidedly terrible Kyle Shanahan is. I'll tell you what. How about you give the win-loss record to Mike Zimmerman? There you go. There's some fucking middling coaching. What's his middling coaching?
I'm pulling it up, sir.
Well,
what's Mike Zimmerman's middling coaching?
Mike Zimmerman, over 28 years of coaching, his a record of 231 to 216 and 2 ties.
Look at that. He's got the exact fucking same record as Teddy. 200 and what to 200 and what? What's that? 53%? Just like he said, it's the same shit.
Yeah, and he was able to win with Teddy.
Yeah, he
Would you call Mike Zimmerman trash?
Yeah.
Oh, and Teddy and him probably have the same.
A trash coach was able to win with Teddy.
Well, by those standards, we're in deep shit because I don't think we got a trash coach. Fuck.
I think we're in good situation if that's the case. If our coach is better than Zimmer, and Zimmer
I believe in
was able to
parity,
win with Teddy.
not in. I believe in parity, not overcorrection.
I understand, but if Mike Zimmer is trash and he won with Teddy, and Mike McDaniel is not trash, what will he do with Teddy?
Maybe Teddy makes Mike McDaniel into trash.
Yeah, good point.
Bazing.
But see, now you're saying Mike Zimmer's not trash. Which one do you believe?
I don't know. Mike Zimmer had some fire-ass defenses in his day.
Yeah, he did. And Mike McDaniel does too.
Mike McDaniel ain't a defensive guy, though.
No,
he's not.
Yeah. But imagine if they had an offensive guy. Would Teddy have put up more than 3,200 yards?
Alls I know is that Teddy, and how many year career has Teddy been? Is this his 10th? His 11th?
I don't know if it's that many, but it's close.
It's been quite a couple. His percentage of win-losses are middling at best. We're talking.
He's been in the league for 5 years.
No, it's been more than that.
Way more.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, you're right. I was looking at the wrong chart. Hold on. 14 to 22.
What's that, only 5 seasons?
7 years. This is his 7th season.
So, yeah, this is his 7th season. He's only played 5 years.
How many seasons has Geno Smith played? Listen, who's leading the league in passing?
Just because I started Geno Smith in my fantasy. Who's leading the league
on a running football team.
Just because I've started Geno Smith on my fantasy team this week, which didn't help me. Because Geno Smith balled out. But, dude, I mean, everybody did. My bench could have slaughtered anyone's fucking starting lineup last week. My bench scored like 150 points. My starting lineup scored me 70. I had Jonathan Taylor did dick for me. God, I know this about Jonathan. It takes him to like
Geno Smith is a 10-year vet.
Right. Geno's ruining the league, man, because all these teams are going to be like, well, maybe we can recreate what Pete Carroll did out in Seattle now. They're all going to go after 10-year-old quarterbacks, dude.
10-year-old mobiles quarterbacks.
What about this guy? What about this Mike Glennon dude? Can we finally win with him?
Nah, because Mike Glennon can't run, and you can't hide that giant head and neck from nobody either.
My point is, Geno Smith had all of those same image until this season.
No, Geno Smith, the only image I have of Geno Smith is he's the guy that pissed off his own teammate and got his jaw broke. That's the only image I got of him. Anything other than that, I can't see him. I remember how much
there's owners in the league right now going, man, anybody got that Pat White guy's phone number? Let's kick the tires on that guy.
Bro, do you remember how proud the fucking Jets fans were of Geno Smith? And I look at Zach Wilson and I think, holy shit, they got the same exact, like, everything in the guy. Like, they're the exact same type of player and everything. They love those guys out there.
They have a type.
Some old
They
lady
have a type.
husband-
They have a type, yeah. They're like a
some
mobile
old lady's
quarterback.
husband is the one punching Zach Wilson in the mouth.
Yeah.
Boom. All right, guys. We passed the 3-hour mark. With that, we'll walk off with the win. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, subscribing. We'll be on tomorrow doing some more stuff. Ali, Color, thanks for coming in. Look, we had ourselves a dust up, came back in time to finish the show. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Fins up, everybody.